Welcome to the Game Changer 00100 show. I'm your host, Game Changer. And today we are going to talk about semi-sexual attention and non-sexual attention and how women value it. Women value receiving semi and non-sexual attention a lot more than men value giving it. How do I know? Because we wouldn't be talking about things like talk to 15 women a day if we valued or semi and non-sexual attention. You see, traditionally in a functioning society, semi-sexual attention and sex was an even exchange. In fact, that's what dating and the entire courting process was. It's basically, okay, a man walks up to a woman, he gives her a taste. That's what the approach is. That's what the icebreaker is. That's what the can I get your number is. That is a taste of the semi and non-sexual attention. And then if she likes it and says, okay, this is the flavor of attention that I want, then you go further. And then a guy must invest more time into it. And this comes into forms of like talking on the phone for 10 hours straight about, blizz blazz and him or, whatever. Talking about anything, just any trivial thing that is really not going to develop you as a man. So guys that spend hours doing this, hoping to get the booty. Now, in a fair exchange world, you would get the booty. Booty? You would get the booty in exchange for the time you spent. That's how everything works. It's kind of like the way it's working now is kind of like the way companies would work if they never hired their interns. They just keep taking a bunch of unpaid interns and never hiring them. It's like, wait a minute, they're not getting paid ever for the time that they're working. They're working with the hopes to get paid and gain experience and get paid at the company that they're putting their internship in. Right now, what's going on is the original contract is thrown out. After a certain amount of dates and after a certain amount of time, you get the booty. You are supposed to get the booty. That is the original unspoken contract. Now, not so much. And why is this? This is due to the internet. Primarily online dating. Online dating is just a way for women to sample thousands upon thousands of a man's semi-sexual attention. They're constantly getting hit on, and they're not giving up the booty to all of them. They're not giving up the booty to all that they respond to. It is just a bunch of conversation. It's like blah, 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 blah. And she's having the same conversation because it's through text with 10 other guys at the same time, just garnering and absorbing the semi-sexual attention. People want to know why I don't Instagram. That's why I don't Instagram. But I'm going to start Instagramming because apparently there's a lot of good video topics there. Shout out to those who send it to me. Shout out to K-Dot. I got your stuff, bro. And shout out to everybody that sends up. You are. But I'm gonna start Instagramming for that reason. But before, to me, it was just like you're just looking at these chicks and you're thumbing up. It's like, wait, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if you give her your precious thumb? Is she gonna fuck you? Name the sequence of events that begins with you clicking on the thumb of a chick's picture and her sucking your penis. Like, name the trail of events that begin that way and end that way. It doesn't. It doesn't happen. So why bother? Now, if you desire her non-sexual attention, then so be it. It's an even exchange. But even still, even when you do desire that, some chicks will still just offer you the empty promise of some booty, of some booty, just for the sake of the sake. Pattern of behavior. And I noticed this online. And I attribute, once again, I don't online date anymore. And I attribute this to a lot of stuff. I attribute it to primarily that they don't look like their picture, and they're using somebody else's picture, blah, 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 or they're just saturated. But really, it's just a waste of time for me. It's just a waste of time. Like, they just want to talk. It's like, yeah, so how about me placing my penis inside you right about now? We've been talking for a while now, and I think it's about time for me to put my penis in you. I think that we've reached that stage of conversation. I have paid with my valuable semi and non-sexual attention. Now it is time for you to pay back with the sexual attention. That is the unspoken exchange. Now, not only is that unspoken exchange just completely obliterated now, which means that, you don't have to give me your semi-sexual attention, and I don't have to give you my sexual attention. That contract is completely gone. That fair exchange contract is completely gone. Now they want to create a new contract. And that new contract is, you are to still give me semi and non-sexual attention, and in exchange, I am to give you nothing. Because we are the same, the attention that you give to me is as valuable to me as the attention that I give to you. And that is bull. That is bull. Man attention to woman is far more valuable than a woman's non-sexual attention to men. That is bull. You think we like you? We don't like you. We don't like talking about, chick and wham wham. Chitty boo boo. We do not like talking about that. Each and every scene you talk about, we would rather be fucking. Point blank, period. Unless you're on your period. We want to be fucking. Like, oh, did you know that such and such at church, she wore sandals the other day and tried to pass it off as church shoes? Did you know that I want to put my penis in you? And listen, here's the thing. It's not that we hate it. And it's not that we don't even like it. But the thing is that it interferes with the things that we could rather be doing as men. You see, let's just say you're not salaried, you're hourly, but you're highly paid. And you're talking to a chick. I don't know. Let's just say $20, right? I say that because it's an even number. So it's a nice even number. Let's just say you make $20 an hour, right? And the place you work at, they offer overtime. And it's like, listen, you can talk to some chick about chitty chitty bang bang for an additional 30 hours a week, and they will talk that long. What is that, like 4 hours a day? Yes, they will cupcake with your ass for 4 hours a day. And then you're like, wait a minute. I could have been working overtime, time and a half. That's $30 an hour. So this week, I just spent $900 talking to this chick. $900. After 10 weeks, you spent $9,000 talking to some chick. And do you think she cares? Do you think she cares about the time you spent? You could have been writing a book, could have been learning a different language. You could have been adding to a skill set in those in that time. You know, like if you're a truck driver, you could have been getting like an extra license. If you're a computer tech, you could have been getting an extra certification. If you are a translator, you could have learned an extra language, an extra dialect of German or something like that. But instead, you was talking to her because your sex drive compels you to spend your time in this fashion instead of spending it to build yourself. And see, that's why I'm not against tricking, because it's like, wait a minute, you're spending the money anyway. If you just spent $900 and you still didn't get it. So like just buy it if that's the case for less than $900 or $9,000, excuse me. And focus on building yourself up as a better man. They will take each and every single morsel, each and every single second of your time. And not only do they not care that they're wasting your time, they don't care that they're wasting their own time. That's why so many of them run into the wall. They spend so much time taking time, consuming times of others, and enjoying that they forget that they have a limited amount of their own time. They could have been building themselves as wives and mothers. But instead, it is just a time consumed. Now, FreshandFit. I haven't watched many episodes, or I should say I haven't watched much of many episodes, meaning that when I watch it, I'll catch like 5-minute snippets and stuff here. In fact, that's how I came across the Anthony Mackie thing that I did, where he was like, get daddy a sandwich. So shout out to them, salute to them. But I did watch a bit more of them yesterday, and I caught a very interesting conversation between him and one of the white chicks on the show. And I was like, wow, this is really spreading. This way of thinking, this modern woman way of thinking is really just going out of control. It's getting out of control. There's no end in sight. There's no brakes on this crazy train. Because they have been doing this for so long, they expect it as a norm. And if you go outside of this norm, then you're a sexist. You're a misogynist, and I don't even give misogynist. I don't even know what they're talking about when they say that. Actually, they said the definition here. But you're all this stuff. Just for not giving them what they want, what they crave. And here's what I mean when I say crave. Some things is satiated. It has a diminished value after doing it, after using it. So it's done. It doesn't have an addictive property. For example, a roller coaster ride or a movie. You consume it and then you're done. Maybe if it's really good, you want to see it 2-3 more times. But after that, you are eventually done. Oh, crap. Press 1 if you can hear me. But after you ride a roller coaster or you see a movie or something like that, you're pretty much done. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. So yeah, after you've done that, you're pretty much done. You have satiated your need. However, non-sexual attention and semisexual attention is an insatiable desire, meaning that they need it over and over and over again. It's like, yes, I just talked to you for 20 hours last week. Like, yes, but I need another 20 hours this week, and I need this, into perpetuity forever. Like LaToya Forever. Speaking of forever. This chick left her husband, father of her 3 kids, not because he was a bad father, not because he was a bad husband or anything, but because he wasn't giving her enough non-sexual attention. He was giving it to the kids. He was giving his children non-sexual attention. And she was upset because she wanted it for herself. So she divorced him. Went out and found some light-skinned jawline nigga. And felt that since he didn't have kids, she would be the center of his universe. Now, I don't even know if they're still together, but these are the breaks. That is how much they crave it. They crave it more than being a wife and mother. They crave it more than parenthood. Now, a normal person would think that, she should be getting that attention from her kids. Nope. And that's why I use the term semisexual attention. Why? Because not only do they want it from men that want to have sex with them. I don't know why. I didn't make them this way. Shout out to AMS. I didn't make them this way. They just want it. It's a drug. It's crack-a-win. And if I was a D-boy and I don't really understand the nuance and, I don't understand the lifestyle, but it's like any product, it's just that it's illegal. But as I understand it, when you have a product and you sell that product, one person gives you the product and the other person pays. You pay. And you want to know what the currency is for the semisexual attention? You want to know what the currency is? Booty, booty, booty. I give you my attention, you give me your booty. I show you mine, you show me yours. Outside of that, It is over. The contract is null and void. Okay, so there's some confusion on what's the difference between non-sexual attention and semi-sexual attention. They want both, but they need that semi-sexual attention. You see, they get non-sexual attention from other girlfriends and jihays. They get that, you know, talking about lipsticks and Real Housewives of wherever the hell, you know, they get that from their female companions. And whatever they talk to, you know, jihays about. But no, they want that semi-sexual attention where they know the guy wants to sleep with them. But they don't want that to be the only thing that he wants. They want that feeling of he likes talking to her. Exactly, Pepe. They want that, you know, penises everywhere, but genuine interest in cuddling, that's what they want. That's that semi-sexual attention. I get it. I got what you want, you got what I want. Booty. Fair exchange. And if you do not have a fair exchange, then people don't sell to you. It's like if I was to say, I give you 6 bananas if you give me a bucket of raspberries. Or better yet, that's a bad exchange because raspberries are expensive. But if I was to say, I give you 6 bananas and you are to give me a dozen eggs in exchange, I give you the bananas and you don't give me no eggs. It's like, okay, you got me for the bananas today. Today, you got me for my bananas and the eggplant. You got me for that. But now I know that you are not a egg person. And if you ask me for, hey, can I have some more bananas? I'll give you some eggs this time. It's like, okay, where have I heard this before? And chicks will do this for years to some guys. They'll do it for years. See, the internet has given them, you know, the ability to do this for an extended period of time. But enough about me. Enough about what I have to say on the matter. I like FreshandFit, so shout out to them. Like I say, I watched them for more than 5 minutes today, or excuse me, last night for the first time. And I gotta say, I like this show. But I want you to listen. I want you to listen to the brains of the thinking people who did this. Listen at their brain. Hold on.
Go ahead. Give us. I think that's pretty terrible, saying that women's values decrease as a person, but men's. You know, it's such a horrible way to look at human beings.
Biology is no, but that's realistic though. Think about this, right? When you get older, you're pulling.
Now, this is the woman on your screen. The woman with red hair, not a bad looking woman, and certainly she hasn't hit the wall yet. No, Pepe. Non-sexual attention is not more valuable because you don't cuddle. Y'all want to cuddle. See, that's semi-sexual attention. Semi-sexual attention is cuddling. Semi-sexual attention is complimenting your booty or complimenting your breasts without touching them. That's semi-sexual attention. Semi-sexual attention is talking about things other than giving the woman sexual validation. They want that too. But no, they want to hear about how much you want to have sex with them too. That's semi-sexual attention. They want both. Damn it.
Options for men decreases. And think about this. When you get older as well, having kids is a lot harder. You know, things slow down. Your beauty starts to fade away as well. Right. But men, when they get older, they become more regal, they become more successful for the most part.
If they do the work.
If they do the
A
work.
lot of guys become old and are still losers.
And
that doesn't
a lot of women prefer.
Now, he brings up a good point here. A lot of guys become old and they're still losers. You want to know why that happens? It's because they spent too much of their time, too much of their youth giving away free non and semi-sexual attention. Like I say, that 10 hours a week, that $9,000, that you could have got by working overtime, would have gone a long way to making you a more successful man later in life. But instead, you spent it gaming chicks, hollering, trying to get some, and you're worse off for it.
Mature older men, because they're already set in their ways, they're very successful. So it's a different dynamic for guys versus girls.
You don't think women mature and grow into themselves too as well? Like become more successful with time, and men can stop being able to have children as well.
See, they can, but let's be honest here.
Yeah.
What do men
can bust us to the day they die?
I was about to say, like, we can go for like years.
Will it work?
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
You can.
I forgot who got kid at 6 years old.
Wait, are you talking about erectile dysfunction or the semen?
Both?
Two different things. Well, you can always get erectile dysfunction pills. That's fine. Get up and then. But the point is the semen works. Whereas you're not going to be able to have a kid when you hit a certain age.
You can freeze your eggs now.
Some women do that.
And you see, here's the thing. What these chicks are doing is they're looking for more time. What the? All right. Hold on. What these chicks are doing is they're looking for more time. They're looking for more of your time to waste. See, they like wasting all this time of guys and with no risk. Because trust me, they're not actually against sex, but they do realize that the more once the exchange is made, then there is a diminished need for giving that much non-sexual attention. See, once a guy receives his gratification, he's going to want sexual attention now. Now the relationship has moved from the non and semi-sexual attention phase to the sexual attention phase, meaning that if he was given like, I don't know, 30, 40 hours a week of non-sexual attention, he's going to reduce that down. Now things are going to start to taper off. Now things are going to like, okay, now we're going to get into more of an exchange to where, we spend a couple of hours together, I smash and there we have it. See, that is the comfort stage for a man. Because the attention to sex ratio is more favorable at that stage. They want to avoid this stage. That is what the angst of settling down is. So they don't want to settle down too soon. They want to prolong it, but they only have so many years that they could pull this crap. And they don't like to hear that it's limited, that the amount of time that they could pull this crap is limited. They want to do this forever. They want to be 85 years old, calling dudes up and say, so, nothing, I just wanted to talk to you. I like talking to you. So what's on your mind? 85-year-old pussy? Like, that's what they ideally want, but they know nature doesn't work that way. They just don't like to hear it. All right, let's continue.
Spend a lot of money doing that, but this likelihood still goes down because when they put the eggs back in you and you're older, you still are going to have a lower chance of bringing those children to term.
Yeah, but life isn't fair, honestly.
The incubator's old.
Yeah, life isn't fair, and I know it sounds bad, but it's reality,
I think there's a lot of men out there that wouldn't say that women's value depreciates. I don't think that's all men. So I have hope for a lot of men.
See, they'll smash.
I have hope for men. We don't want your hope. We want your booty. Booty? Booty. We want your booty.
She will tell you sweet lies, but they won't wipe you up. That's why there's a lot of single older women out there.
First super chat of the day, Kenneth Williams, all facts. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate you. I'll put you in the tank.
That are like, damn, I can't find a man because I just want to smash him.
We brought many older women on the podcast, and
one cried actually.
And the thing is that it's easier for you to say this and think this way, right? Because you guys are young and attractive now. The world is your oyster, so you can't see anything else.
Yeah.
Right. And here's the other thing too. Women are smooth. Can we get a clean up in aisle 6?
Aisle 6 cleanup.
Yeah.
Aisle 6.
Yeah. So the thing is this: women are born with value. Men have to create it. So you have to preserve it the best you can. But it does go down eventually with time. Like that's just like men are.
So according to these chicks, they feel that they're going to be just as valuable now as they are at 55. They feel that, okay, they're on this show. Let's start there. They're on this show. Now, I'm subscribed to them. Like I say, I watch them in like 5-minute bursts. I could tell you that they don't have 55-year-old women on this show. That should take... Okay. So I think I was maybe like 36, 37 when... No. I was like 33, actually. I remember because I remember the person I was with at that age. And she was younger, of course, and she told me about this website that you go to preview movies for free, meaning that you go to the movie theaters and you get to see the movie before it comes out, and they just want your opinion of it at the end of the movie. And what I found on the questionnaire and the survey and stuff is that it was like 24, I think was the cap to where they stopped giving a shit about your opinion of the movie. It's like, yeah, they still let me watch it, you know, my old self, they let me watch it. But it was clear from the questionnaire that they really didn't give a crap what I thought of the movie. Apparently my age bracket don't go to the movies that often or what have you, unless it's free. But yes, these things change. These women would not have been allowed on the show if they were 55. They don't even recognize the privilege that is given to them due to youth and beauty. They don't. Nor do they appreciate it. Why? Because you can't really appreciate something that's given easily. You have a greater appreciation for the things that you work for. They didn't really, as far as I know, they didn't really put much work into youth and beauty. They just were born and this is the way they look. And this is the way the world treats them as a result of how they look.
Are measured on what kind of success do they bring? Are you confident? Do you make money? Are you successful? Whatever. Women are. He still is looking for the same demographic of woman. So I know it sounds terrible, but this is reality.
Okay, so I was gone for a second, but it was still playing. Basically, he was saying that men ages 18 to 60 prefer women from ages 18 to 64. They're going to try to fight this fact, I'm sure, but let's listen.
You guys think it should be that way, or you think that's wrong?
It's the way society's progressed for millennia.
We don't think it should be a certain way. We just accept how life really is.
But you think that's wrong though, or do you think that's right?
Here's the thing.
Life is unfair.
No. We gotta really like beat this into the ladies' heads. No, not literally. Reality is immoral. I'm gonna say that again. Reality is immoral. It's not right that there's people that are born handicapped. It's not right that there are starving kids right now in Africa. It's not right that you can get into a club for free while we have to pay. It's not right that you guys can make a career selling pictures on OnlyFans. It's not right that, as a guy, right, we're physically stronger than you. It's not fair, right? Reality and life is immoral in general. So,
my feelings.
Yeah, should, could, or would be.
No, I'm just asking your opinion though. That's why.
My opinion is as I accept reality.
Yeah.
Okay. I would answer the question different. And my answer to the question would have been, do I think it's right? No, I don't think it's right. However, you are benefiting from it. You see, the only reason that they can sell their pictures and stuff like that, and that there is a scarcity. See, there isn't a shortage of women. And I hate it when these dudes, say, there are more women than there are men, because that just shows a poor understanding of balance. There are far more men there. Okay, put it like this. There are far more fertile men than there are fertile women. Period. And what I mean by that is it's not even close. So right now there are men in their 60s looking to get at women in their 30s. And there are also men in their 30s looking to get at women in their 30s. And there are also men in their 40s looking to get at women in their 30s. And there are also men who are in their 50s looking to get at women in their 50s. So this influx that they're receiving as a result of this comes from the fact that the other end, the later in life end, isn't as valuable. So it's a funnel effect. Men of all ages are going for women of a certain age. So that's why they get the influx that they get when they sell their pictures on on OnlyFans and wherever. Where I'm pretty sure there's a lot of venues out there, because when I watch Pornhub, you get the pop-ups and there's all kind of shows and stuff. So these are younger women selling it to men of all ages. They're selling it to men of all ages. All ages of men are going to the same age group of women, and that is how they're getting their money. If it wasn't true, and biologically speaking, we were equally attracted to women of all ages, then you'll have 80-year-olds making the same money that 20-something-year-old women make. And then guess what? The market would be saturated and you wouldn't make nothing from your pictures on OnlyFans. Think about all the old-timey porn stars. Like Capri Styles, I don't know. I'm bad with names. What's her name? Aurora Jolie. There's a lot. Just think about the ones from 10 years ago that retired. Now they're not old. They're not geriatric. They're not AARP type. However, they aged out of the industry and they walked away gracefully. But imagine if there was no age out, and they were just still there clocking dollars. Then there will be no room for the new up-and-comers. So yes, that is the way it is structured, and there's good and bad to it. The good is that you're on FreshandFit now. The bad is that you will not be able to be on it later. Yeah, well, I don't know who Vanessa Del Rio is, but whomever. See, these women are not dead, and they're probably still attractive. They're probably just 40 or at worst 50 or something like that. Even when we look at the porn stars from 30 years ago, from the 90s or something, they didn't die. They just quit somewhere between 25 and 29. They just quit that, probably married some guy who watched her videos and they're just there now. They're just living regular lives, likely. But they're not even really, really old, but they're too old for porn, meaning that it's more money for the women who are in that age group. So yes, you should be so lucky.
And when you accept the reality, you accept reality being immoral.
Yeah, personally, I might feel okay, this is bad, but in reality, I have to accept it. I can't change life.
Women, whether they want to accept it or not, want to accept it or not.
We're realists. We don't try to think how we think should be. We say this is what it is. How do we adapt and make it better for ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, because you just said yes, I think it's wrong. That's what I was asking you. So you think it's wrong that the world works like that, though?
No, I said life is unfair. I never said it was wrong.
No, because you just I thought you just said that
So I said life was unfair. I never
You
said
said, yeah, it's unfortunate that the world works that way. It's not like you said, it's not, things are not always perfect. Things are not always right. So I'm asking you, do you think?
Okay, now it's just, all right, I'm gonna speed it up. Because there's a lot I want to cover here. So there's this part, and then there's the part where we start talking about non or semi-sexual attention.
Think that that's right, that people think about women in that way?
My personal opinion doesn't really matter because it is what it is. Like I can't change.
We deal on the what is.
How things are.
We deal on the what is, not the what ifs or what could be or what should be.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like I said, women get the privilege to say that's not right, it could be, should be, would be, because you guys have all the leverage when it comes to dealing with the opposite gender early on when you're young and attractive. Mm-hmm. So you can afford to have these Disney fairy tales in your head. Men can't.
Yeah, no, and I was just asking because you guys were asking us if we had any questions for you. So that's my question to you.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
If I think it's unfair.
I'm saying, yeah, do you think that it's wrong that people think about women in that way? That's what I'm asking you.
I'm going to say, honestly, looking at it from an outside lens, I can't really comment on that because I don't really care.
Oh, okay. Then why'd you ask us to ask you questions?
No, that's my answer.
I think it's good that it's that way because there's checks and balances to life. So it's wrong that men are born poor and have to become rich, and we don't get the same accesses and privileges that women do. So the only way to check and balance.
That is true, unless you're born rich. There are those guys, lucky dudes.
That is, women are given their money up front and they have to spend it correctly, otherwise they die poor. Men are given no money up front and they have to work hard to create it, and if they do create it, then they get to have the abundance of options. So whether we want to accept it or not, women are looked at as sex objects and men are looked at as success objects. And if you guys don't believe me, we have an entire porn industry, an OnlyFans industry, a strip club industry, no offense to you, where women are able to monetize on their sexuality.
Now, I had this argument with somebody before, and she was talking about basketball players. Female basketball players get so much less than male basketball players. And, I brought that up, that female sex workers in general get so much more than their male counterparts, right down to the strippers, and unless you strip for G-Haze, you're pretty much going to get paid less.
If things were fair, there'd be male strip clubs too. Last time I checked, ain't no Chippendale dancer making a quarter of what a female dancer makes.
Look, when I was broke working at Chick-fil-A, ain't nobody wanted me, right? I had to level up, you know what I'm saying? Get successful, learn how to invest, all that shit at the very beginning. And now that I made it to a certain level, that was easier. But was that fair? Probably not. But I had to make it work. Same thing with men and women. Like, yeah, you might be looking at the sex object, but it's what it is. You gotta either adapt with it or complain. But that's all you really can do.
Yeah.
Adapt or complain.
Yeah. Men complain when they're young and can't get girls. Women complain when they're older and can't get a husband.
Yeah.
Perfect phrase right there. Men complain when they're young and can't get girls, and women complain when they're older and can't get husbands. Now, marriage was the solution, was the way to shut up both complaints. Marrying younger was the way to shut up both the complaining male for not being able to get any when he's young and the complaining woman for not being able to be married when she's older. Marrying at 20 would have solved both problems, but the social contract changed, and now both sides are unhappy, it seems.
Okay. I think just going back to the question, though, I think it's a little unfortunate that you guys don't want to at least even just say that you think that it's wrong, the reality is wrong. Because look, the fact that that's the reality, of course, yeah, I see that. But the fact that you guys just can't answer my question and say, yes, I think it's wrong, it's a little telling. And you know what? You guys are saying the whole time that we don't want to answer questions, but you guys didn't even answer my question. So
we did answer it.
No, you guys said no comment. Multiple times you guys said, I can't comment on that. No comment. But that's fine.
We just gave you a long-ass answer of why reality is the way it is.
But if you would have asked us, you'd be like, okay, but what do you think? Okay, but don't worry about what other people are outside of it. But how do you?
This is the difference between how men and.
Okay, they're doing this whole, it's a fact thing. I don't really agree with that. I mean, like I said, I gave my answer, to how I would have answered it. It's a little different, but I agree with theirs too. So stating a biological fact to her is misogynistic. But she's really saying that what she really wants to say is that men who prefer younger women are misogynists, which she is using, interchangeably with the word shallow. What she don't understand is that it's this preference that keeps her hot. Because once she starts having to compete with 50-year-old women on equal terms, then she probably won't be as hot.
But I had to put her in her place.
Okay, I kind of get what she's saying, but I also can tell that she just don't want to admit that she doesn't like how what he's saying is taken away from her non or semi-sexual attention. She don't want to admit that.
In that moment, you got to call a girl in front of her. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I said I'll call a girl in front of her.
Yeah.
But the point is that you need to remember, keep in mind that I'm teaching men, not women. So what a lot of guys will do is they'll let the girl sit there and continue to get their non-sexual attention and think it's okay.
And hope.
Reinforce.
Oh, yeah.
You're reinforcing undesirable behavior from the woman, and you're letting her know it's acceptable for you to withhold sex from me. And what I'm telling men is, no, that's not acceptable. Kick her out of your house. Just like you have the ability to exert your boundary. I don't want to have sex. I don't feel comfortable. Cool.
That's fine.
On the male side, I don't feel comfortable hanging out with you anymore now. You have to leave. The problem is this, ladies. Anytime a man exerts a boundary, right, of what he wants from a woman, especially if it's sexual, it's considered misogynistic. So in other words, it's okay for women to say what they want from men, but it is not okay for men to say what they want from women. And what we simply tell guys is, you have the option to kick her out too.
You don't have to sit there and tolerate her leveraging sex against you for compliance. That is not misogynistic. Do you know what the definition of misogyny is?
I'm saying that's not you telling her to leave or you leaving is not
what does misogyny mean?
misogynistic.
What does misogyny mean?
Misogyny, it's like being against women in general.
No, it is the hatred and or contempt of women.
Yes.
Where do we say we hate women?
Definition.
Please tell us.
Misogyny to her means being against women. And basically, by being against women, being against their agenda, being against their lifestyle, being against their beliefs. If they believe in one thing and you don't believe in that thing, then you are against women. And you are a misogynist. So if a woman believes that non-sexual and semi-sexual attention should be free and you disagree, you are a misogynist.
That's where
do we hate women?
Where do you hate women?
Yes.
Is that the only definition of misogyny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why
very strong words.
It's a very that's
And
a very
you've also-
serious accusation. So if you're going to say that, then back it up with we have no problem
Yeah,
with
I mean,
you saying we're
I
misogynists.
just gave you a whole example. You can play it back on the podcast later if you want to listen to it again. But you've even called a woman a bitch on your podcast live. Sorry for saying the B word.
Hold
by
on.
the way, bro.
How does me exerting a boundary show that I hate women?
Maybe she meant patriarchal, not so
No,
much
no,
misogynistic.
Let her answer it.
Let her answer it.
Not you.
Wait, if we call
I
someone
already
to be
explained it.
Okay. Patriarchal is just like a blanket bad word. Maybe she means patriarchal, which doesn't really apply here. but she just threw that word out there, like, you know, like it's patriarchal, and by definition that means bad somehow. Okay.
It wasn't the fact that you were setting a boundary. You were saying in the video, oh, I have to put a woman in her place because she doesn't want to have sex with me. So I'm going to go ahead and call a woman in front of her just to make a point and make her feel disrespected. And it's just like that type of behavior is just so unnecessary. If your ego is that hurt that a woman doesn't want to sleep with you, then just leave or just tell her to leave. Like, why do you
Here's the shaming language. Here we go with the you have a fragile ego. If your ego is so hurt because she don't want to sleep with you. See, nowhere did he say your ego is hurt. He's just saying that you have given some of your non and semi-sexual attention. You have given X amount of bananas and you want Y amount of eggs, period. You know, and it's weird the way they see it, because like if I say, listen, I want to trade you 6 eggs for 8, or excuse me, 8 eggs for 6 bananas. You give them the 6 bananas and they don't give you the eggs, and then say, hey, where's my eggs? Oh, if your ego is so bruised because you didn't get eggs, it's like, what?
have to be disrespectful like that? And then like on another video, you were on live calling a woman a bitch. It's like, I just think that's a little disrespectful, very disrespectful.
Okay, so there's a couple things that here. So number one, by telling a girl to leave, that does not mean that I hate women.
I didn't say that.
That's what misogynistic means. It means you hate women.
That's what you're saying, basically.
I didn't say because he told her to leave, that's misogynistic. I'm saying he was saying that guys, you gotta put women in their place. Like if we're some submissive dogs that need to be put in our place.
Well, it depends. If you are not submissive, then you need to be put in your place, which is the place of a submissive woman. Make no mistakes, lady. Submitting to a man is your place. If you are not at present doing that, then you are out of place and need to be put into it. That is your post. That is your position. That is your duty in life. Now, she says like a dog. I mean, you know, just because dogs are submissive to humans, then, you know, doesn't mean that that's just one thing that y'all have in common. That's why y'all call each other bitch. That is a thing that y'all have in common. Both like submitting. But it's not a matter of putting you in your place, you know, by violent means or anything like that. If you are not in your place, then you do not deserve the non and semi-sexual attention that comes with a woman in her place. You feel that being out of your place is going to get you more of said attention. And it probably will, but it's volatile. It's volatile.
Like, no, we don't.
Who leads relationships, men or women?
Who leads relationships?
Yeah.
Men most of the time, yeah.
Okay. So by asserting dominance.
So she agrees that men leads the relationship. But she's saying that men should lead, but women shouldn't follow? Make it make sense.
What are you doing? You're taking leadership of the relationship, right? Or the interaction, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're asserting dominance, which is what men should do and what makes men attractive in the first place. So attraction isn't moral, as I said before. And nowhere in there did I say I hate women by exerting a boundary. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with a woman saying I don't want to have sex. And it's also nothing wrong for me to say you need to leave and I'm going to call another woman. I'm in my own home. I can do what I want. If I want to call a woman in front of her, that's whatever. But that in no means I'm a misogynist.
I'm saying the way you talk about women. Yeah, and it's just, I'm saying the way you were saying it. Oh, if a woman doesn't want to have sex with you, men, you have to put her in her place.
Okay,
like,
you got to use logic here.
Myself.
You're going off of feelings. Like
So it's not what he said, it's how he said it, right?
No, it is what he said. He said what he said in the video. You guys can play it or rewatch it. I don't know what you want to do. And like I said, you've called women a bitch. The
When did I
viewer
call a
on
woman a bitch?
When?
it's on your Instagram page. I saw it yesterday.
Okay, so
What she wants to do is she wants to paint him as a misogynist and thereby discredit what he says. Because she don't like the concept of fair exchange when it comes to sex for non and semi-sexual attention.
hold on.
What she do? But
Hold on. Yeah, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
I've called men bitches. I've called women bitches. I've insulted everyone. Here's the thing that you don't like. Women have fought for equality. Therefore, they're equal and they can make their own decisions, correct? From a society standpoint, right? Same rights, same privileges, whatever. I can't think of a right or a privilege that a woman has that a man doesn't. I can find privileges that women have that men don't.
A lot.
So, with that said, women are free to make their choices. The difference is that there's consequences to these choices. You don't want to have sex? Cool. Now you must leave. Nothing misogynistic about me exerting a boundary just like she did. Number 2, calling a woman a bitch. Under what context? Because if a woman is acting rude or crass, she can be called a bitch just like any other woman and or any other man. I insult everyone the same. I've kicked men off this show. I've kicked women off this show. So calling a women don't get privilege for being women just to act ridiculous and not be called out on it. If I call a woman a bitch, under what context was it? She probably did something wrong for me to call her that. Are you a misogynist because you refer to other women as bitches? I'm sure you have referred to other women as bitches. Are you a misogynist for that?
When women refer to other women as bitches, it's like, oh hey bitch. It's not like you're a fucking bitch. Like, no, sorry.
Okay, have you never called a woman a bitch in a degrading form? To shit on her, are you fucking bitch? You've never done that.
Of course I've called a woman.
Are you a misogynist?
No, but
Okay.
I'm trying to say that in that video, what you were doing is like, it seems like your ego was so hurt that the girl didn't want to sleep with you that you have to go out of your way to call a woman in front of her just to.
Here we go. Ego hurt. So basically, I don't even want to talk about it.
Make her feel bad. And like you were talking about women in a way that you have to teach them a lesson if they don't want to sleep with you. And it's just like, why can't a woman just not want to sleep with you because she doesn't want to sleep with you?
And that's okay, but there's consequences to that.
Why should there be consequences if I don't want to sleep with you?
If you don't want to sleep with me, why should I continue to give you?
Exactly. So basically they want to, it's fine. Listen, I'm pretty sure the overwhelming majority of womankind don't want to sleep with me individually. So I get that, it's not really something to be mad about. It is mad when they waste your time under the pretense that there is a possibility that they do. That is bad. That's being deceptive, and it's not, it's not like, it's morally bad. It's not illegal or anything like that. It just shows poor ethics on their part. Now, is it something to get really mad about? Not really mad that she don't want to, but more mad about the time that was spent with the assumption that she do. Once again, if we go back to the intern analogy, I mean, imagine a company hires you as an intern with no intention of hiring you ever. They never did. They never planned on giving you a paycheck. Then yes, you would be upset at the time you wasted interning because you could have been actually working during that time.
Due attention. You're not entitled to my time or my attention. That's the problem. So women are not entitled. I'm going to say that again. Women are not entitled to a man's time, attention, or resources if she does not want to reciprocate on her end and give him sexual access. You are not entitled to it.
Booyah. I wish I had that bomb thing that Ike has, but yes.
And for a man to exert boundaries and say, listen, you got to get out and or call another woman in front of her, it doesn't matter. You no longer want to give what the man wants, he's within his right to kick you out any way he sees fit, just like you are within your right to withhold sex from him.
Like you just said there should be consequences if a woman doesn't want to sleep with you. That
is the consequence. Being absent, non and semi-sexual attention is the consequence.
Yes.
so troubling. Like,
how's that
that
troubling?
is just, you don't see how that's weird? Like, that's just weird.
So it's okay for you to have multiple dates with a guy.
Consequences?
Hold on. It's okay for you to go on multiple dates with a guy, right? Pip everything, and you never sleep with him. That's okay too, right?
Wait, I'm sorry. Is he entitled to having sex with me just because he takes me on dates?
No, I'm saying if you go multiple dates with a guy, right, and you
Yeah.
feel like, you know what, I don't want to give him sex. That's okay, right?
I think you should do whatever you want to do on guys, and like sexually, if you don't want to have sex with a man after 5 dates, you don't have to.
Perfect. So if he wants to call a girl in front of you, that's his prerogative, right?
Of course.
You see, they feel okay with this. Once again, legally it's fine, but morally it's skewed because you took 5 dates of his time. Now, if you had intentions on the first date, but he effed it up by, doing something that you didn't like by the 5th date, then that's one thing. It's another thing to where, you didn't have any intention in the beginning and you just, wanted 5 dates.
I'm just saying he was saying to do that as a consequence because that's
to shame
yeah,
a
to
woman?
shame a woman
Well,
because you're not having sex with me,
well,
I'm gonna call someone and make you feel some type of way.
Yes,
It's
because the consequence is him calling a girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the same thing as a girl, punching a guy for not having sex.
punching a guy.
No, punishing.
Oh, punishing a guy.
The point is that it's okay for women to withhold sex from men with zero consequence, but it's not okay to kick out girls and or hold them to some kind of consequence when they don't want to give sex.
You can do whatever you want. I just think
Right.
in the video that I'm talking about, you guys are saying it in a very disrespectful way, saying that there should, and like you just said, there should be consequences if she doesn't want to sleep with you. It's like, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, guys are not entitled to your body, like regardless how
Cool,
many
and you're
dates
not
you go
entitled
on.
to a man's time.
Yeah, and
It's
if
not-
you, yeah, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. I've
It
been talking
sounds
too much.
rapey. I get what you're saying, but he probably didn't in that way.
But it does sound a little rapey.
No,
Just a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing.
So did she just say grapey? Wait a minute. A man saying that, okay, I don't want to talk to or waste any more time with a woman who's not having sex is somehow grape? If anything, that's just, the opposite. It's like, okay, I'm not going to even be in the company of somebody like this. That's weird. But they just want to use every inflammatory name that they can to get men away from this behavior. Why? Because this behavior cuts into their non-sexual and semi-sexual attention.
Man.
And this is why this podcast is so important.
Yep.
Guys, this is the reality of the world. Women want to be able to exercise the discretion to give you sex anytime they see fit, but they don't want you to exercise the discretion to withdraw attention and or time at any time you see fit when you no longer get what you want.
Booyah.
No, I literally said she doesn't want to give me sex, she's got to leave. But you guys have a problem with that when I say there's consequences. Just like it just
No, I'm saying the manner in which you're going about it and saying that women have to be, like I said, like have to be punished. Like there's consequences because you
Yes.
don't want to have sex with me. That I have to make you
if
feel
a
bad
woman does
because you
not
don't want to have
forgive
sex
you
with
desired
me.
behavior, you should punish that
And
bad behavior.
you were talking about women as if we're like these dogs that have to be submissive and like trained into being these submissive.
Okay. Women are to be submissive, yes. Now, do they have to be trained? Do they have to be trained to be submissive? No. They shouldn't have to be trained to be submissive. They should be trained on how to be submissive to that particular man's design. Which means that, fellas, every time you get a new submissive chick, it is incumbent upon you to train her on how to submit to you, because she only knows how to submit to the previous guy, his wants and desires and needs. But yes, so she feels that men should take the lead, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I just don't want you to treat me like I'm submissive.
Creatures that, it's like there's something wrong with that to me.
Well, just so you know, right? Most Western women are not feminine at all.
Mm-hmm.
So to be a part of a man's lifestyle, hey, she may need to be trained to be feminine. So like that's normal. So women in Colombia,
we should play the video.
Oh,
we should play the video. Let's get the video and play it. We got 11,000 live viewers. Because here's the thing: if you're going to call someone a misogynist, then you never need to be able to back it up. So we will give you the
hit the like button.
Access to the video. Which video was it? Let's go on our Instagram,
TikTok,
and pull it up. Was it TikTok?
I think it's TikTok. We posted on Instagram.
Okay,
I think so.
So is it on IG?
Yeah. So go to
FreshandFit. Yeah, I guess it's on IG somewhere. We're gonna go on the FreshandFit one. And here's the thing: like I said, this isn't to attack you or anything, but it's just like if you're gonna make a claim and say someone's a misogynist, which is a pretty
look.
That's a pretty serious accusation.
I get how you feel, but to say misogynistic, man, that's a whole nother dynamic.
You guys may think that, like, obviously it sounds like I'm being very harsh right now, but I'm not saying you guys are flat out going to be saying misogynistic things like, oh, women ain't, shit, whatever. But I'm saying I can tell that you guys have a lot of misogynistic tendencies in the way you think, maybe, and like,
oh, really?
I feel like you guys should be a little, I don't know, just be a little.
You see how she has this judgmental, you have these tendencies type thing? Like she speaks on it in authority, like I have the authority to tell you if you're misogynistic or not.
Open-minded to that, I think. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like being open-minded to your flaws sometimes. I think everyone should be.
So you're saying that we hate women, basically.
You should be open-minded to your flaws sometimes. Once again, this is shaming language to try to get him back in line. And all the other men that are listening. Don't take away the semisexual attention.
When did I say that?
Because you just hate women.
Yeah.
I said you're taking this to the extreme. I said that you guys, just like a lot of men, have some misogynistic tendencies, and I think you should be open to like maybe understanding some of your flaws. Just like I should be open to understanding my flaws. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We can all improve in a lot of ways.
Okay, but we're asking you. You said we're misogynists.
Yeah, you guys have
so all right, let's which video is it? Which one?
Down. Some more. I think it's a TikTok.
Which one is it?
Come down.
It was on Instagram. I forgot what it was called.
Down. You got one of the older ones. Come down.
Damn, so you scroll all the way down to on the video?
I don't remember exactly where it was.
Okay, come down.
I'm still trying to figure out.
I think it's this one here.
Was it this one?
Yeah.
I don't want to have bedroom fun.
Yeah, that one.
Is that one it?
On left hand side, Chris.
I think, I'm not sure.
That one, yeah.
Is this one it?
Play.
All right.
This is it.
This is it, right? When a girl's at your crib and she says, "Oh, I don't want to have any bedroom fun," totally cool. You can't get mad. You basically get up, say, "All right, nope."
Now he says totally cool. What's great about that?
No problem. And you're gonna go call another girl, okay? And then what's gonna happen is she's gonna hear you talking to another girl. Competition anxiety spikes, and then you're gonna come back and you're gonna tell her, "Listen, I respect your boundaries. I understand you don't want to have any bedroom fun, but I got my needs, and I'll see you later." And you tell her to leave. Simple as that, guys. Never, ever let a girl leverage bedroom fun against you to try to get some compliance. She's within her right to not give you the fun, but you're within your right to get the fun from somebody else. Don't be stupid. Don't chase, replace.
Okay. What part about that was misogynistic? Please tell me, because that to me makes.
Did he even say put her in her place? Or did she hear that?
Common sense. If you don't want to have sex with me, cool. It's in your right. You can leave if you want to. But guess what? I got my rights as well. I want to get laid. Hey, Susie, what's up? Come through.
Course.
What's wrong with that?
So what is misogynistic about that video?
Of course, no. You have your right to whatever you want to do after that. But I'm saying, you don't see the part in the video where he's like, you said you have to manipulate the woman just because she play these mind games because she didn't want to have sex with you. Yeah, like give her anxiety, like literally give a woman anxiety because she doesn't. Yeah, because she doesn't want to have.
Give her anxiety? She's giving him blue balls. But he should care. He should be there like, okay, I don't want to give her anxiety. So what I'm going to do is continue to give her non-sexual attention while not having sex with her to avoid her getting anxiety. Because I should care about how she feels, but she shouldn't care about how I feel.
Sex with you. You said it in the
There's no manipulation.
in the video. You just said it.
Yeah.
She can
Sorry,
leave at any time. What do you say? Respect her boundaries.
Yep.
She can leave.
Did you not hear it? Did you not hear the video? He
Yeah,
said
competition
you
anxiety.
you have to create a competition anxiety. So you want to give a woman anxiety because she doesn't want to have sex with you? Come on.
Weird. Yeah.
Okay,
Come on.
obviously you don't understand how women work.
Don't care. Don't care. I want anxiety. Listen, if you won't give her attention, then if he won't give you attention, then you'll go to the guy who will. He understands that. I don't see why you can't understand the difference.
You said it in
Right.
the video. I mean,
But I get the point of the video too, where like if that's what you're looking for, just to hook up, the other person has to respect that.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
if you tell
Well,
them
clearly
it's okay to
they don't
leave,
respect it because you guys are saying we're
But it's
misogynist for
also-
exerting that boundary.
you should be tactful. Like when you talk to people, like you have to be. You don't have to, but it's the right thing to do to consider their feelings. You could be like, hey.
She clearly doesn't consider
you
my
don't have
feelings.
to call her in front of the
Oh,
girl.
here's the thing, here's
you
the
could
thing.
just be like, hey, can
Why?
I gotta do something.
Why should I respect her feelings when she's not giving me what I want? She's not respecting my feelings.
Aha.
So why should? See, that's the problem. Women want it one-sided. I want you to treat me like a princess, regardless of whatever. I want you to give me the attention, whatever. But when a man puts his foot down and says, "Listen, I have boundaries too, and I have requirements as well. You don't want to fuck it out."
That's what.
And I was very polite about it too. But if I call another girl, right? Here's the thing: I can't choose how a woman feels.
It's fine that
If I call another girl, it's called competition anxiety, which means other girls want guys that other women want to be with. So if I call another girl and she feels competition anxiety, it's not my fault that she feels that way. I'm doing what I'm going to do. How she feels is irrelevant to me.
Right. It's fine that she does, that you do tell her, hey, I'm looking for like a hookup or whatever. So like, it's fine. Like I can have somebody over, but to actually call somebody in front, like that's kind of like, it's like a little disrespectful.
Lame.
It's
Yeah,
disrespectful.
very
Hold on. No. It's disrespectful that she doesn't want to have sex.
I don't get it. Like, what do they expect from these guys? They want to continue to get, I'm telling you, it's like you give your bananas, they don't give the eggs, and they don't want you to react in any other way. They don't want you to call another egg merchant. They just want you to continue to have polite interaction with them. Why is her hair blue?
It's disrespectful that a woman
Yes,
doesn't want to have sex.
because-
Disrespectful to who, though?
Okay, it's disrespectful because I've spent my time hanging out with this woman and she doesn't want to have sex.
4+
So
hours,
therefore,
20.
she doesn't want to have sex. Cool. You got to leave now. Like I said, that's the problem.
Well,
Like it is okay for women to exercise they're able to leverage sex against men for compliance, but it's not okay for men to leverage attention for compliance.
Well, if that's been established at that point, that's it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's implied though.
The chick now says it is what it is. And remember before they were like, yeah, but how do you feel about that? What about your feelings? Now it's just, it is what it is. That's just the way, when they were talking about how, human biology and women biology and stuff like that, the men were like, it is what it is. Now the women are like, yeah, it is what it is. We get free attention without having to do anything. And it is what it is.
Because if you're going on a date with a guy and then you're like, you know what, I'm going on a date with a guy, spend hours with him, have him spend money, and you go to his place and you're like, you know what, I don't want to have sex. That's mad disrespectful. Why don't you tell him in the first place, you know what, I don't like it that much. But let's, if you're the woman, say, hey, you know what? I don't like that much, but let's be friends and then see what happens. No sex tonight. Tell them up front. Don't wait. Don't play this kind of long game.
I have a
perspective and I have a different type of view. So
Sure.
in my opinion, I feel like if you go on a date with a guy and you don't like the guy, and let's say, like you said, you've been dating for a long time, if he invites you to his house, don't go to his house. Some girls go to a guy's house and like they're in bed with the guy and they're cuddling with the guy and they're there making out with you, doing the most, and then when the guy tries to make a move, they're like, whoa, I'm out of here. Like, no, don't end up in his room, in his bed, if you don't want to do anything.
There you go.
From the beginning, if you're at dinner and you have no intent.
That kind of came out of nowhere, but I get it. She's basically saying don't lead him on as much. But whether you are in bed with him, just rubbing it and, and dry humping and stuff like that, even if you're not doing that, in many cases, it is still a lead on. You're still leading the guy on.
Intentions of being with that guy, do not go home with him.
I got work in the morning. I gotta go home early.
You don't have to do that. Cuddling and the whole thing, that's not gonna work.
The point I'm trying to make, what you guys just don't understand, is a man's attention is not free, just like your sex isn't free. He is not entitled to spend another second with you if you don't want to fuck. And that's the problem that women have here. You went to the extent of calling me a misogynist for exerting a boundary, which the woman also exerted as well. It was in response to her asserting her right. I don't want to have sex. Cool. You no longer are going to get my attention. How is that misogynistic than me hating women? I think that's me being intelligent about my time.
I've repeated myself like 5 times, but I'll say it again.
The definition of misogyny: hate and or contempt for
First of
women.
all, I think you guys are not straight up misogynists, because that would be stupid to be a straight up blatant. I don't think you're blatant.
Listen, Chantel. Chantel says, don't go to dinner with someone you're not interested in, especially if you know he's interested in you. He's always interested in you. We don't go to dinner with women unless we are interested in them that way. Like, unless we explicitly express otherwise, and that's generally because you're not hot, or there's some type of boundary that it would be wrong to cross, like, you're a friend of the family, or, you're loosely related or something like that, or you're seeing somebody, chances are he wants to do it. So it's probably better to say, just don't go to dinner with somebody. Or if you do, bring your boyfriend and, he brings his girlfriend or something like that. But yeah, we're almost always going to want to hit it. And if you don't believe me, ask the guy, hey, you want some of this? And if he says no, then it's like, okay, that's the exception. But generally we want it. No.
Blatant about it, but you have a lot of misogynistic tendencies, which I think that's the key to this podcast, that you guys are able to reframe these ideas into a way that's consumable for like modern.
Misogynistic tendencies. That's just her way of saying that if you behave, we can no longer use the word misogynist in association with you. You are capable of being brought back to the light.
They're meant to be like, oh yeah, this is okay to listen to, which is a whole other thing. But I was just saying that the manipulation part and like the entitlement that you felt in that video, just
did she just say the manipulation part? So a woman dates a guy, spends his time and money as well, 4 or 5 dates or so. Go back to his house and not want to sleep with her or sleep with him. And then he says, okay, fine, I'm going to call somebody else. You're manipulating me. No, you just spent all this time manipulating him. Like the manipulation part, you do realize that you were manipulating. What?
It's because a woman doesn't want to have sex with you. The audacity. You have to punish her. You have to play these manipulative games.
So why are you entitled to his time then?
I'm not entitled to anyone's time.
You're saying by me removing her from the place, then she's
no,
entitled to my time.
I did not say that. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
No, because you said it's misogynistic.
Playing those manipulative games. Like why the what you said in the video, that you feel entitled to having sex that that you feel like there should be consequences to the fact that she doesn't want to have sex with you.
Yes, there are consequences.
What's wrong with that?
She no longer gets my attention. That's the consequence.
If I'm out with a girl, right, and obviously I know what I want, she knows what I want. Why even come to my room? Like, I'm just saying, look,
Yeah.
if you're not into the guy, you're not into that. Understand? It's your choice. You can walk away and say, you know what, this was fun. I gotta go home. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
It's done. Right there, it's done.
Mhm.
But I go to this spot and then be like, all right, I don't know, da da da. What is that? Like, just don't show up.
Sometimes people don't like to give everything the first time they meet someone because that can be a little overwhelming.
And that's fine.
So maybe they might want to.
Okay. I don't think that they're talking about this. I mean, I get it, not the first time. And that's why men are obligated to give the attention away for free initially, to give women time to say that she waited. I get that. But there comes a time where he put in the hours and you haven't put in the minutes. Then that's when things start to get like, okay, this isn't going anywhere, and she's wasting time.
Sleep with you the few days later, maybe.
Here's a problem. We're
Couple
talking
weeks,
about what the woman
but-
wants. What about what the man wants? Why is it when a man exerts what he wants, it's misogynistic? That's the problem.
Exactly.
It's not
I
misogynistic.
mean, you're both.
No.
The one with blue hair literally was shrugging her shoulders. Like, look at this. Look at this. He said, what about what the men want? And look how her shoulders are shrugged. Like, I don't care. Like, she literally just did a shoulder shrug when he said what the men want.
You're
No.
both.
It's not
other,
misogynistic.
right?
It's not
So-
misogynistic. It's realistic. For everything, for every action, there is a reaction. You just don't like the reaction because you no longer benefit from it. We tell men on this podcast, if women don't want to have sex with you, that's within their right. But it's also within your right to kick her the fuck out your house and get a girl that will. The problem is that when women no longer get what they want, right? The attention, resources, whatever, the guy is misogynistic. But if the guy continues to hang out with her and doesn't get what he wants, it's okay. It's okay for women to continue getting what they want, and it's not okay for men to exert boundaries. And then you went as far as to say, I'm going to keep going on this. I'm not going to stop until we get to the bottom of this. What about what I'm saying is misogynistic, the hatred and contempt of women for exerting a boundary?
I already said that a lot of your videos have the misogynistic tendencies. You're not a blatant misogynist. And I already said that in the video,
There's no
your
you
mindset.
You can't like.
Whenever people say that, they're just basically using the word tendencies as a way of insulting somebody without being responsible or having to prove the content of the insult. It's kind of like a cop saying, you have prisoner tendencies or you have criminal tendencies. Like, are you saying I'm a criminal? Because you would have to prove I'm a criminal. No, you have criminal tendencies. You have a tendency towards crime. Just saying.
Preface the word with misogyny is misogyny. That is the definition.
What were
Hate
you
or
gonna
contempt
say?
for women.
I was
Where am I
saying,
openly saying I hate women? I hate women, or I can have contempt for them, or whatever.
well, there's different types of misogyny. There's definitely blatant misogynists, just like there's blatant racists, and racists that are not as blatant about their racism. They're not as open about it. There's the same thing with misogyny.
Hate it when feminists equate anything to race, when they create a woman struggle to a racial struggle, because for one, like, racists don't give birth to members of another race unless they choose to commingle with members of another race. Like half of the Klan's kids aren't black. However, half of the Klan's kids are women. And half of their parents aren't black, yet half of their parents are women. sometimes more than half. So yeah, it's really not the same. Like, you are going to have a certain level of empathy for women that you don't necessarily have to have for a race, because you have daughters and you have mothers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's not true. And I mean, like, you can actually live your entire life in complete ignorance of another race, a complete understanding of another race. That's not necessarily true for gender. No matter where you go, there they are. But they want to conflate the two.
And like I was saying, you're within your right. If you don't want to hang out with a girl, you can kick her out. Go ahead, do whatever you want. You're within your right. I'm not arguing with you about that.
So this is where okay, you're in your right, but I'm just gonna say you're kind of misogynist. I wish he could just say to her and have the same effect. I'm sorry your ego was hurt because you wasn't getting enough attention. Oh, actually, he could. Just the same way she's saying, I'm sorry that your ego was hurt because she wouldn't have sex with you. You could say, listen, I'm sorry that your ego was hurt because you wasn't getting enough attention.
So how is exerting a right that I have?
We have it right here.
misogynistic?
Definition of misogyny: hatred of, aversion to, or prejudice against women.
Yes.
So you're saying that that's who we are.
I said you have a lot of misogynistic tendencies underlying in your videos. Yes.
Prejudice.
And I feel like you guys are being very what's it called when you're trying to fight something very you're getting really offended that I'm saying this, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you guys.
No, but
this is the shaming language. You're offended. It's like, well, you're offended, which is why you're calling him a misogynist. You're offended that a woman somewhere isn't getting the attention that she feels she's entitled to.
I'm simply telling you, if you're going to make a claim and call us misogynist,
please tell us.
I have been. I've repeated myself like
You
5
have not.
times.
No, you haven't.
Like I said,
That's the reason why we're telling you to continue, is because that does not prove misogyny whatsoever. Exerting a boundary for undesirable behavior from women is not misogyny.
That's why I'm being.
But prejudice, you're like having prejudice towards a preference towards men over women in certain areas, or like in different areas.
Did you girls get what I was saying though?
That didn't make no sense. Having a preference towards men over women doesn't make you a misogynist. It makes you a jihad. Or a biznai with tendencies towards jihad. That didn't make any sense.
Did you understand what I was saying? I'm saying you're within your right to kick a girl out, not want to be around her if she doesn't want to have sex with you. You're within your right.
That is not misogyny.
That's good.
I'm saying that's not misogyny. I'm saying you're within your right to do that.
So what is misogyny then?
I was saying that the way in which you speak about women in that video, you're saying that, oh, because she doesn't want to have sex with me, there should be consequences, and you have to give women anxiety and make them feel bad about it. And it's like, why?
I said you simply call another woman.
Play manipulative games. Yeah, you're making a woman feel bad.
Hold on. You call another woman.
Yes. So what if she feels bad?
Competition anxiety comes. The girl will be like, oh, who is this other girl he's calling? Whatever. I can't choose how she feels.
But you know what you're doing. You're trying to play manipulative games.
No. I'm trying to get sex, and a byproduct.
Isn't that the pot calling the kettle manipulative?
I'm gonna have some company later. Can you go?
Yeah.
But you don't gotta be like, hey, you want to come pull up to my crib?
This is why men should never listen to women when it comes to dating, relationships, and advice, because you guys don't understand what it takes to be attractive as a man to a woman. As a man to a woman, you know what you may like or whatever it is, but you don't know what makes you attractive as a man. And having boundaries and exerting those boundaries, regardless of how she feels, is what makes you attractive. Being indifferent to female emotion. So, again, it is not misogynistic to have boundaries and exert them.
That's not what I'm saying. You are free to have your boundaries. Free to have your boundaries.
So then where are we misogynistic? I'm going to keep going. You can't make claims like that and not be able to back it up.
I think, honestly, that we should agree to disagree. In my opinion, I feel like based on what she's saying, I think that if you want to invite another girl over, you don't have to make it public. You don't have to tell her, hey, Another
Did I
girl
not say,
coming
hold on,
over.
in the video, did I not say go in another room and make a phone call?
Oh, okay.
See, here's the thing. Once the social contract, what she's talking about is things that you do out of common courtesy, due to a social contract. Once the social contract is broken, and you do break the social contract, when you lead guys on, you're breaking the social contract, because the social contract should be fair exchange. Now, it's not, you refuse to follow the social contract. Now, if he breaks social contracts, not the law, but if he breaks social contracts in any way, shape, or form, he's well within his right to do so with you, because you don't adhere to social contracts.
I didn't hear that part. I
See,
understood that you would have made the call in front of the girl.
Selective
Based on what
hearing.
I've heard.
I said you're gonna get up and go into another room and use the phone.
Okay.
That's what
Well,
I
look,
said.
if you make the call in another room and you want to invite another girl, say, hey, look, listen, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah, but
Why would that give her
Like I said.
social anxiety
That's
if
fine.
she's
That doesn't
not
change
aware?
anything.
Exactly.
That
If
doesn't-
she's not aware, why
Because
would
it's
that
not
give
what
her
he was
anxiety?
saying. It's not what he
That
meant.
doesn't
That's
make
why.
sense.
That's why it doesn't make sense. Because
ladies,
it's not what
hold
he
on, hold
meant.
on. Ladies, anxiety and hatred are two different things. If you give a woman anxiety, that's not hatred.
But how
She
would
won't
she
have
get-
anxiety if she
Ladies,
doesn't know that
ladies,
you're calling
ladies.
another woman
Yeah.
in another
Yeah,
room.
I
I didn't want her
ladies,
to know.
you wear makeup, you have different hair colors, you have stuff like that. That's playing a game. You're manipulating men's emotions to get what you want, correct? If anything, you'll be here natural and onto the podcast. But men have certain ways to get women, and that's what he's saying. He's like, listen, I don't hate her.
It's
but
okay for you to manipulate
Yo.
the way you look and to change it and distort it to get attraction from women and attention from men. But it's not okay for men to exert boundaries, and then that's considered manipulation.
Yo,
Okay.
this example, like when a girl says to you, "Hey, I'm coming over. We're not having sex, okay?" And you're like, "Yeah, cool. Let's just chill." But you really want to tell her, we're gonna fuck. But if you tell her that off rip, she's gonna be like, "Nah, I'm not coming."
Exactly.
When she comes over, you guys chill. The vibe is there. Things happen. You can't say things like that straight up. Because you gotta understand, right? We understand how women work, so we're not gonna say things up front like that. You gotta do it a certain way. You gotta be smooth with it.
Women have an issue
Yeah,
with
it's
direct
not blatant
communication.
misogyny.
Yeah.
They have an issue with direct communication. So I mean, again, like I said, there nothing in that is misogynistic.
I think you guys are kind of missing what I'm saying still. But I'm just saying
But you've been saying the same thing over, and it's not
Yeah,
misogyny. Is
I'm
what I'm
say-
trying to say. You've repeated yourself multiple
Okay.
times, and I've told you what you have said is not misogyny.
you
Okay. Basically, what she's doing is she's fighting for her right to shame such behavior. And he's taking her right away. He's taking her what she believes to be her right to shame these guys away.
in the video, you are speaking about women as if we're dogs that need to be submissive and be taught a lesson. And it's just like there. I don't know if you can see that there's so many misogynistic
I'm teaching men to be leaders, which is inherently attractive to women.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
I'm teaching men to be leaders, which is inherently attractive to women.
But earlier in the podcast, you said that women can't be in leadership roles, that they can't
They
lead.
cannot, which is why I said
So he says he's teaching men to be leaders, and then she's defending, or she's responding with, you said women can't be leaders.
I'm teaching
So
men how
you're-
to be in a leadership role to be attractive to women.
Okay, yeah. So I would argue that, yeah, also that comment that you made that women cannot be leaders is pretty misogynistic as well. But I mean, look, we all
Okay,
have different.
name one matriarchy that stood the test of time.
Just one.
Just one.
Please one.
You got you.
Name a what?
A
One
matriarchy
matriarchy.
that has stood the test of time.
You never
A
know.
female-led society.
Female.
That's
That's
not
it.
possible in this world.
No, I mean they're
And
just
you
they're
mentioned earlier
having.
the patriarchy.
Because of
So-
patriarchy, it's not
What's the
possible.
definition?
No,
because
they're-
of the way it was created. But it could be a but it won't.
Okay, hold on.
It
hold on,
won't,
'cause
but it could
everything
be.
I say on this podcast is rooted in fact. I said women cannot lead and they're not capable of being leaders. You said that's misogynistic. I said, okay, that's misogynistic. Tell me one matriarchy that has stood the test of time.
I'm
A
not.
female-led society.
First of all, there haven't been a lot, but I'm also
There's been
not.
none.
I'm not a history major. I'm sorry that I don't have this written on the back of my
Okay,
hand.
well here's the thing. If you're going to
but-
make claims like that.
No, but there's also a lot of women that tons of women representatives, senators.
President.
Okay, he said matriarchy that stood the test of time. A 2-year Senate run is not the test of time. when we're talking about thousands of years of, you know, functioning societies, patriarchal societies?
Presidents, female presidents all around the world. Some of the most
And a 4-year presidential term doesn't either.
some of the most successful countries in combating COVID were women leaders. So
Really, which ones?
That's again, like I said, women aren't built to be leaders. Name one matriarchy that has existed at the beginning of time. There is none.
yeah, you just want to disregard what I said.
No, that
You didn't say anything.
Matriarchy?
I just said
Women built the world that you live in.
I just gave you clear examples of
men built the world that you live in that allowed women to even be able to rise up to leadership positions within the world that men built.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay.
Women have played a great role in society as well, but I just gave you examples
Hold
of.
on. This is not to say men are better than women.
I just gave you
We're talking about the leadership portion.
And yes, she can't even name
countries
the
in
leaders in the
Europe that have
country.
been doing great during the pandemic, led by women, and like
Which
you just want to
countries?
skim over that.
Which countries?
Look it up, Google it.
Switzerland.
How are you
She told him to Google it.
gonna make a claim and not be able to back it up?
I don't remember the country in my head right now. I'm sorry, I don't have it written on the back of my head,
So you
like I
say-
said. But
Yo, this is
South
comedy right
America
here.
has had female presidents.
I forgot.
Europe, parts of Europe.
Yeah, if you just do a quick Google search,
Why are you mentioning continents?
And, you know,
It's not-
naming positions that's temporarily. You said lifetime. I mean,
you know what I'm saying. So those are just a few
Yeah, he said long term.
examples
Exactly.
of women in leadership roles that are doing great
what's the
jobs.
first name?
I said, why would I remember this woman's first and last
Well,
name?
you're saying it.
You can Google it.
I mean, if you're gonna make a claim, guys, you got to be.
Yeah, like why would you remember, you know, female leaders' last name like George Washington or Julius Caesar or Abraham Lincoln? Like, why would you do that? Oh, because they weren't, you know, Augustus Aurelius or, you know, or Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or John F. Kennedy Jr. Like, why would you remember the first and last name of your leaders?
it's them trying to put straw man arguments on people.
You can't just make like random claims. No, there is a matriarchy that's existed. There is none. Oh no, there's been plenty of female leaders. And here's the other thing too. Yeah, we have women leaders in
Your viewers
the
are saying-
world that men have created. This isn't, ladies. You guys are thinking like I'm saying men are better than women. I'm not saying that. I'm saying men are better at certain things than women, and leadership just happens to be one of them. And as a matter of fact, and especially we say within the confinements of a relationship, men have to lead, not women. What is wrong with that? I'm teaching you guys how to be leaders with women in an attractive state.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and a part of being a leader is reinforcing boundaries and punishing bad behavior from your girlfriend that's undesirable.
This is true.
I mean, we love.
I know you don't like the way I say it, but it's the truth. If I have a boundary and a girl doesn't stick to it, all right, well, you know what? I'm not fucking with you no more. Break up with her, whatever, and then she's gonna come back correct.
Like, for example, your friends flake tonight. Did we, you know, hate them? No. I mean, it's you gotta punish their behavior because what happens? We have a podcast to do, and it has to be done.
There's punishment. Here's the thing: when I say within the relationship with a man and a woman, it's met with contempt. But everyone exerts boundaries. If a man doesn't pay for a first date, you punish that bad behavior and you don't hang out with him again, correct? Or maybe he wasn't funny or cool.
Okay, so right now, if you can see the look on her face, she's looking like she's trying to that he has a point, but she's trying to think of a way to counter because she does not like this idea. Because this idea reeks of even exchange. And they don't like that. They like the whole bait and switch thing that they've been doing. Or they want to reserve the right to continue to do the bait and switch. Let me rephrase it.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, they can't take the fact
behavior.
that
There's
they're wrong.
consequences. You don't hang out with him again, correct? Why is it a problem when a man has a consequence for a woman, but it's not okay when a woman has a consequence for a man?
Silence.
I've just repeated myself so many times. I don't want to repeat
Yeah,
myself
the same
again.
thing over again. It's not.
But what
nothing
you're
new.
saying is incorrect, is what I'm trying to say. You keep saying having boundaries with women is misogynistic, and I'm saying
That's not what I said. How many times? I'm sorry. How many times have I said that a man can?
She's playing semantics. This is getting.
Yeah, she's playing dumb as hell. She's actually being a misandrist.
Right. She don't want to be wrong.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll probably cover this later this week, maybe tomorrow or something like this. Here, let me go to the panel. Melody, Mel, what's on your mind?
What's good, y'all? Yeah,
Hey, DC.
What's going on?
yeah, that's it.
Um,
Oh, you go first,
you,
man.
I'll go first. Yeah, so pretty much, those women are pretty much feminists. I mean, you know how feminists are. Men can't be right at all, even if it makes sense. Men just can't be right in feminist eyes.
Well, I mean, they're taking the aspects of feminism that they need, because feminists, like modern feminists, they want like a matriarchy. But you see, matriarchies don't work for certain women, and these women know that a matriarchy isn't going to work for them. For example, shout out to Chantel Simone, and shout out to Deacon Dave. But Chantel Simone gave an example of how she gets away with tickets when cops pull her over. You see, that's because we live in a patriarchy, and the cop is a man. So she's able to have the pretty privilege doesn't exist in a matriarchy. It doesn't, because pretty privilege comes from the ability to use your looks to manipulate powerful men. If there are no powerful men around, then your looks don't mean shit.
Oh, I thought that was my story about the cops. She had the same story?
Every woman who recently
All the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one I did.
Exactly. But I mean, but what happens when a female police officer pulls your ass over? You get a ticket.
I got a speeding ticket from a female.
Yeah, you get a ticket. That's what happens when a female officer pulls you over. And pretty privilege probably works against you in that aspect. You know, so that's what a matriarchy looks like. And women like the redhead, you know, don't want that. You know, she's not about that life. That's for dang sure.
Right.
Yeah, I would say she's more like pseudo-feminist. She wants certain benefits that feminism brings to her, mostly the liberal parts, sexual liberation, all that mess. But when it comes to the responsibility of the matriarchy, she don't want that. She still want to leave it up to the man. She gets to get all the benefits from him.
Well, I mean,
the consequence part,
women like these, they want more time to waste.
Yeah,
they want to waste more of men's time. And that's what like the second and third wave of feminism pretty much got them. You know, you work, which means that you don't have a financial sense of urgency to get married, meaning that you could play these, you know, time wasting games. Like, oh yeah, exactly. You know, I can date continuously until my 30s and I won't starve to death. And my parents won't be like, how come you haven't gotten the fuck out? You're 32 years old. So, you know, that is what they want, to play these games. And what Fresh and Fit is doing, shout out to them, is they're challenging, you know, their right to do that. It's like, listen, they're playing this game, and this is how you play too. It's supposed to be an even exchange. If she is wasting your time, you know, or if she is displaying that she has really no desire to actually meet with you or be with you in any real way, then yeah, just end it right there.
Exactly, yeah. Like they know in advance. You tell them, you already know what I want when you come over. If you ain't gonna give it to me, get the fuck out. That's what he always says. And like I said, being straight direct, being mode one, so just won't waste your time. And so you already know in advance. She's trying to say we misogynistic because you already know in advance what I want, and you still want to waste my time. So goodbye. I don't want to deal with you. Go home.
Well, the problem with mode one, as it relates to a contract, is that you're asking for the eggs for no bananas. Mode one is simply saying, like, listen, I'm not going to give you any of my non-sexual attention. However, I want your sexual attention. And most women will say no to that, you know. However, if you were direct and say, listen, I will spend the time that you desire on the phone and stuff like that. However, this is the cost of it. That would be a different form of it, you know. And that
still no one, because not as like you said, like it's still an exchange. But you're letting her know in advance, right then and there. Okay, you want my non-sexual attention. Now you have to pay a price for it. And she breaks that contract, not gonna give you what you want. Then you know what? Goodbye. I'm not giving you my non-sexual attention. Yeah. I think Obsidian, I definitely shout out to him. Definitely alluded to that. You know, start charging women for non-sexual attention. But you know, I think I showed them a website that they actually have that. I think rentafriend.com.
Well, you know, I think women are upset. Well, mainly feminists are upset because men are getting hip to their games. How women used to lead men on. They're not letting them do that anymore.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like, listen, we're gonna do this and that's it. You know, that's what the guys are saying. Like, look, either you give me some booty or get out. And they wasn't doing that before with women.
Right.
yeah, exactly. Like
and
remember,
and
like
not the empty promise of booty to come. Like, oh yes, I'll give you some booty, but my car's flat or something like that. It's like, okay, that will only work for so long, like, or I'm waiting for something to come in the mail, but like stuff like that will only work for so long.
exactly.
Exactly.
We got feminists out there that what's happening now also too, like yeah, just like Melanie was saying, women put men in two categories: the ones that they sexual desire, and the ones that gonna make them work, and even not give them sex, but they make them feel a certain way, non-sexually, wasting their time. What's happened that they losing both types of guys now. Both guys and like the guys that they try to shame the guys that they actually want to want them, like them girls doing Bumble, and it's not happening, or like the fat girls that be trying to say this fat phobic because he got a preference. And then we got the guys that they string along that's saying you're not stringing along with me anymore unless I get something in return. So they
And
technically
that's
taking
another thing. The shaming language,
Mhm.
for not falling for the tactics is not working anymore either. Like, like
Exactly.
you think people like modern men are becoming hip to the words that they use. Like, oh, you're fat shaming, or you're fat foot. Like, listen, call me what you want. I'm not doing your fat ass. Like, I think that men are taking that stance now more.
Exactly. On the
Yeah,
way and
I should.
mm-hmm. Exactly. Like if you realize men are starting to play the women's game role now. How what we gonna manipulate her the way she tried to manipulate us, and it backfired
Well, we're no longer
on them.
following the rules that they don't feel the need to adhere to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the rules of common courtesy, fair exchange, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Says, no, they're giving out booty easily, but to only select few guys. To the other, they only lead them on and waste their time.
We
Okay,
know that.
so what he's saying, what the guy in the video is saying, and I don't know which one is which. I really don't know the real names yet, but what the lighter skinned dude is saying in the
That's
video
Myron.
is that if he is that guy to you, if he is the guy to you that you want to waste his time, then he's going to contact a woman who he is not that guy to. Now, to you, I look like somebody whose time is worth wasting, but to her, I am a guy that she wants to have sex with. So I'll call her instead. Now, the thing is that it's fair game in the beginning because guys don't know. Guys don't know if she's actually sexually interested in you or if she's just looking to waste your time, or both. We honestly don't know that. But once you find out, then it's fair enough. Don't give any more time. See, we don't work the way women do, to where they'll spend like years in a relationship, trying to change a guy who only wants her for sex. Women will do that. Men, at least don't want to spend that much time wasting on women who just want to use them for non-sexual attention.
Mm-hmm. The 70%. Always say. And what's happened? Most of that
Have no
70%
boundaries.
starting to put their foot down, saying no, I'm not doing it no more. So I just
Yeah.
I'm so much upset and saying all men ain't this and that, blah blah blah.
Now, the problem is that, and this is another reason why they're fighting the changing tide, is because there will come a day where just men are going to completely hoard their non-sexual attention. And the thing is that that's a gateway to any type of relationship, including marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Once that start happening, then women who are legitimately looking for long-term relationships is just going to come across a wall of men that's just like, listen, I'm not going to call you until you fuck me first, which means it's just going to be a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. The only way to know, okay, but if she wants to in an indirect way, then. I mean, I can see the argument for mode 1 here, but I can't see the practical use for it.
Some guys,
Be
some
straight-
women will
straight
play
direct
that
with you.
game. Some
Be-
women will let you think you're being mode 1 and play you out.
No, nah.
There's women like that that'll like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. But first,
Oh.
find me a purse.
Well, I mean, no
That's
matter
not mode 1. Yeah, like
no matter what, even with mode 1, you know, and they talk about verbal seduction, you're still giving, you know, a semi-sexual attention because you are verbally seducing her.
Well, yeah, that's
And,
part
you
of
know,
it.
And now she's going to try to prolong that period of time, you know, for as long as she can. Now, it may not be as long with, like, even if she says, you know, okay, yes, that's what I want to do. You know, I want to do that. Tell me what you want to do. And then you dirty talk her, you sweet talk her. That's still non-sexual attention. And just because she said at the time of meeting that, this, and this is how it's going to go down, doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's going to go down.
That's what I mean. Because she can be like, yeah, but first I need some dinner. And he
But
might take out to dinner.
That's the whole thing. Be
and
straight direct with your
verbal.
attention. And
Well, okay,
she starts doing
you're
that.
direct,
That's when you.
but okay, ma'am. So you're direct, right? But say she don't want dinner. You know, let's just say, you know, like, I want you to suck my dick, and she says, "Ooh, Daddy, I want to suck your dick. Why don't you tell me about how big is it?" You know, and then next thing you know, you're talking about it, and then it's like, "So are you gonna suck it?" Yeah. Just as soon as I'm off. Again, yeah. In the meantime, why don't you talk to me about blah blah blah? And you know, you're saying to yourself that you're verbally seducing, but really, you are.
Oh, repeat that again, James. I got a little lost. I got a little lost right there.
No, I understand exactly what you mean. Some women will play your game and get you for what they want.
Yeah,
because
you're not really telling them nothing that they don't know with mode 1. You're basic. I mean, they know. I mean, just the fact that you put it on the table. I mean, they already know that you want to have sex with them. The thing is that if they plan to lead you into believing that you're one day going to have sex with them.
How is that when you already being straight direct with your intentions already? Like
they already know your intentions. I mean, they just saying that they'll share your intentions and then they stall.
No, they won't stall because if you allow them to stall you, that's the whole point.
So either way, with mode 1 or mode or anything, mode 2, you know, just don't allow them to.
Mode 2 is the stalling part, yeah, but that's mostly on the man's part, not the woman's part. Because he's afraid of being.
But what I'm saying is the results are the same. The action are the same, mode 1 or otherwise.
It is mode 1, mode 2. But
listen.
The amount of time. That's what I'm saying.
But what FreshandFit is talking about is something you should do whether you're mode 1 or mode 2. Like the means in which you meet her isn't really relevant here. What's relevant is how she's behaving with it and how you react to that behavior. So Useless Familiar says. This is a classic gender. What's that?
Gender?
Antagonism.
Antagonism. All right, thank you. That we have for each other on the subconscious level. We are dependent on each other for reproduction, and both men and women hate jumping through hoops. Do you think women really hate making men jump through hoops?
No, they don't hate that.
And furthermore, because because reproduction is more involved, meaning painful, and you know it's more of a blow to their overall value. You know, they're going to be a little bit more apprehensive about it, and they're going to leverage it. You see, here's the thing: women want to leverage a man's desire for reproduction against them. And the only way they can do that is to their own detriment. That's why women are getting older and childless for so long. Or so many times in this generation, you know, because they spent the majority of their youth leveraging men for their desire to reproduce.
Remember the 90
I get what you're saying though. And thanks for the super chat.
Remember the 90-day rule they always try to enforce?
The who?
The 90-day rule they try to enforce.
Well, yeah. So that would be an example of So I get what you're saying, and they both want the same thing, but do they want it equally? If they did, then they wouldn't leverage it, or maybe they do want it equally, and they just leverage it because they can, and men allow them to.
Yeah.
But I mean, in this case, what they're saying, what FreshandFit is saying is that, okay, you're going to leverage this. We have something that you want that is more precious than Passissi. We have this, and we're going to leverage it as well. So, Uncle Ruckus, what's on your mind?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's good?
Yeah, man. This is an interesting conversation. So I think what's interesting is that here's one thing I noticed, GC. Right, when I was a simp, I never had a woman call me an asshole, not once. The moment I started establishing boundaries for myself, it's fascinating how quickly I started hearing the asshole, like the asshole word. I think that's what it is with women is, and it really, all I really changed was just establishing boundaries. That's it. Because it's not like I just, out of nowhere just started, calling them, bitches or whatever. Like I just started establishing very clear boundaries, like what FreshandFit is describing. I'm not just gonna let you sit there and waste my time, etc. And then suddenly I'm starting to get, these paragraphs, man, you're such an asshole, you this, you that. And it's like, interesting. I never got none of that when I was just giving you all my attention for free, not really demanding much of it and thinking that that's what I should be doing. None of y'all thought I was an asshole, and y'all took advantage of that. So I just think it's I think it's very funny, and the biggest L I ever took actually was I flew a girl out. I actually flew out a girl. I was one of those simps. I flew a girl out, and then she basically came out, and then once she got here, she basically decided she didn't want to smash. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like I was fucking devastated. I'm just being honest, like I was devastated, and it's funny to me now because I'm
ashamed, man. We all been there, brother. We all been there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm laughing at it now because I would never do some shit like that right now.
I done some stuff also too. Yeah, I understand your point 100%. I was there myself. Doing stuff for girls. And we not have a backbone. I think it's our social programming how we, supposed to treat women. Be nice for a girl and be patient, and she'll fall right into your arms like them 80s, 90s rom-com movies. As we was like the nerd, and those movies, the nerd got the girl at the end of the movie, but in real life, you see how he got the girl. It's like pathetic. Like,
yeah.
So what happened? You flew her out. How long did she stay with you?
I flew her out. She was supposed to stay for 3 days for the weekend, basically. So she came on Friday, flew her out. I actually used some of my, my air miles and everything. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna use some of my air miles. I'm gonna let her come in. Say what?
How far?
What do you mean?
How many miles? From what state?
Oh, you mean like from where? Like she was coming from Boston to Atlanta. Because I'm from Boston. I'm originally from Boston. So
okay.
Yeah, so I already knew her.
It's not like she's from like Oregon or California or something like that. It's not.
No. I already knew her in Boston. way before I moved here. I've been in Atlanta for a while. So the way before I moved to Atlanta, I already knew her. So I flew her out. I thought we had an understanding, and then she came to Atlanta. It's like, yeah, I'm excited to spend a weekend with you. And then she came, and then and actually she was staying at my spot. Another mistake. She stayed at my spot, and then she decided, okay, I want to go see some things. I got some people I know out here, and I'm like, well, I can't control the girl. Long story short, I don't have proof of it, but I'm almost certain she was meeting up with another guy. So on my dime, you know what I'm saying? Like I got her come out here, and she had somebody else out here. I didn't even get the booty, and the thing is, I didn't want to feel like I don't want her to feel like I'm being grapey and all that. So anyway, the point is, I was devastated. That's the long story short. I was devastated, man. I spent the whole weekend with blue balls, like feeling like shit about it. Okay. And the thing is, it's like I laugh at that now because I never do that today, like ever. Like I laugh at myself just thinking that I ever did that shit. But it's interesting. Back then, she would never call me an asshole. You know what I'm saying? But then eventually, after a while, when I started, when I got that red pill and whatnot, and I started moving differently, then with women like that, like they're no longer in my life anymore. But when I started cutting them off, like I'm not picking up the calls. Oh, why are you acting different? Why are you acting like a stranger now? Why are you doing this? Or you've been an asshole. You hung up on me. This, that, and the third. But it's like before, you never called me an asshole when I was just giving you my free time, where you felt like you could get everything from me. So I really think for me, that's what I get out of that. Is it's interesting how quickly they get upset and they call you misogynist because you want to create boundaries, but they have no problem whatsoever using you for yours. Using you for when you don't have established boundaries. They have no problem whatsoever. I've never had a woman before when I was a simp. I never had a woman say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do this, right? I never had a woman say that. They just took advantage because I let them, and I don't even blame them for it. I blame myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame them for it. So I just think it's interesting when you hear these conversations. That's the one thing I think that is interesting about Fresh and Fit is it lets these women expose themselves. It lets them expose themselves and how they really see things, right? Because you see all the back and forth she's done here, where every time he asks her, okay, and I'm glad he's actually pressing on this. I'm glad he's not letting go. Every time he asks her, how am I being misogynistic, right? She then goes to misogynistic tendencies. It's like, okay, let me figure out a way to wiggle myself out of this without actually explaining myself because I'm realizing right now I don't have a fucking point. So
exactly,
yeah.
I say when you start being assertive, more assertive and everything, let them know like, yo, you want something of me, because the fact is they know what guys they treat that they don't make them work hoops like that the way they did with you and stuff. You know, they make you work for it, and the other guy benefit and stuff. You know, they know what they're doing.
Well, how did you meet this girl? Did you meet her because you from Boston?
Yeah. I grew up in Boston. Yeah. So I already know. We actually went to high school together. She's actually a good looking chick, you know. So I actually felt like, man, I was a simp, so don't judge me too hard. But
I'm not judging.
No, there's no
judgment. Damn, like I'm about to go in, and I bought a whole box of Trojans. I put them in the dresser. I was excited, man. Like I was excited, and then Shorty came out, and she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go explore Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta before. I'm gonna go explore Atlanta. And and I'm like, okay, cool. Night comes around. I'm like, you want to go grab some drinks? You want to go do this? I don't know. I think I'm gonna stay in. Okay, bet. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna smash. And then she just goes and lays down. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. So there's obviously at least from these women on Fresh and Fit that they want to push the ability to do this, continuously. What do you think would have been the results if the first day you said, listen, you're not giving up no booty. You're not giving up no booty, and I want booty, and you got to get the fuck out. Like, what do you think would have been her reaction had you said that?
Okay, I mean, given that circumstance, I would say she would be hot. I mean, she hasn't spoken to me because the last time she actually talked to me, she was trying to keep me on the phone, and it's like I told her straight up, I gotta go, and she's just like, oh, you changed, you this, you that. So I could tell already just from her reaction to me, just not wanting to give her my time, like just
you're semisexual or non-sexual attention, basically.
Yeah, just from that,
because you don't want to give the semisexual or non-sexual attention. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, she was pissed. So I could tell, like, so if it was even deeper than that, yeah, she would have been pissed. But I think deeper than me just saying that, I'm not flying no chicks out. That's the first mistake is flying a chick out in the first place, in my opinion.
Now, are you flying to a chick?
No, there's no reason to do that.
So basically, you're only messing with local women now.
I'm not flying. Well, I mean, I might travel, but I'm not traveling just for the sake of smashing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like if I traveled and I meet a chick there, that's different. But I'm not traveling just to go smash a girl. I guess if that's what you're asking.
Oh, I see. So like if you want to go to like
when
Miami,
I flew her out,
let's meet at Miami Beach or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I flew her out with the soul, and like in my mind, I was going to smash her. You know what I'm saying? That was what was in my mind. Versus like in her mind, she just thought she's just gonna get a free trip to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I was dumb enough and simp enough that I didn't realize like, she was basically taking advantage. I really believe that, okay, she knows what it is, because she was flirting with me and everything. That's the other thing. She contributed to it. It's not just like I was simping and
just led you on. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. She played along. She was like flirting with me. Like, I was straight with I literally was telling her, like, I'm gonna take care of you when you're down here. Like, I mean, again, it sounds funny now, but I was being very like flirty with her and letting her know like what my intentions were.
And that's what I mean when I say mode 1 doesn't really help with that, because she knew that you wanted to have sex with her. Like that doesn't really change much, of anything in the scenario. Because what you're talking about is having a verbal agreement, but to some people, verbal agreements don't mean shit. Like
I think you're mistwisting what the mode 1 is, game changer is.
Yeah, perhaps, but I mean,
no. Let's see when.
What I'm saying is, they break verbal contracts all the time. That's what divorce is. Like it doesn't really mean much, but nevertheless, I don't really want to talk much about mode 1. I want to respond to what the RX. Thanks a lot. has to say. It says, what everyone's let's see, what everyone's opinion of, or excuse me, what's everyone's opinion of women using the excuse of taking advantage of decent men to protect themselves from being hurt. Sometimes it's not an excuse. Sometimes women like that are spiraling, meaning that they don't know what to do to keep a relationship. And because they're a little, they're probably not the sharpest knife, you know, in the ninja's outfit, you know.
Yeah.
They don't really realize that it's a personality thing. So basically, the only things that they know to try is, you know, withholding sex or giving it up. Like those are the two only things in their arsenal. Like sandwiches, submission, all that stuff don't exist to them. They just the only thing they know about keeping a man is to fuck or not to fuck. So basically, you just caught her on the to not to fuck portion of her seduction technique. She only has two moves. So basically, she's gonna try not fucking, and that's not going to work. And then she's going to, you know, some months down the road, try fucking. And she's going to spend her life confused, like, well, I tried fucking every guy I seen, and that didn't work. And then I tried not fucking guys, and that didn't work. She's spiraling.
I think what it is, GC, is that, like, I think a lot of these women, they see their actions as victimless actions, right? So when you hear her, because I thought it was interesting when you saw the back and forth between her and Fit, and Myron, where basically he's basically trying to make her understand, like, your currency is sex, right, and ours is time, and he's trying to make her understand that by us sitting here, you giving us blue balls essentially, right? You giving us the blue balls, and you want us to just be okay with that because you don't want it. That's cool. That's cool if you don't want to smash me. I'm not going to be like, and that's the other thing is, like, don't make this sound all gravy. Like, we're not advocating for a man to try to force you into something you don't want to do. That's cool, but then I get to go and utilize my other options, right? Because you're trying to, you know, waste my time here. And it's interesting how she wants that to be okay. She wants it to be okay for her to sit there and waste my time and give me blue balls, which, by the way, I mean, all jokes aside, blue balls can actually get serious, by the way. I mean, yes, in most cases, it wears off. But, you know, if you really feeling a chick, you know, whatever, like, it can actually get serious. So it's not a victimless, you know, or a harmless thing that you're doing. You're wasting a man's time. And I like the fact that earlier you put, you know, you tried to put like an actual dollar value on it. Like, what if I was working instead of spending this time with you, right? Because I could actually be making bread and making myself more valuable. So I don't know. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting that they want that to be okay on their side, for them to just play all types of games and waste your time and whatnot. And the moment you do anything, and essentially they're punishing you, but they don't view it that way. That's my point, is that it's not a victimless action, but they don't realize that they're essentially punishing you, whether or not that's their intention. They're punishing you, and it's like they don't want you to react to that.
But these chicks, they know these guys like them, so they know how they feel for them and everything. Yeah, they try to prolong it.
Exactly. They just want you to be thirsty right now.
Exactly, the thirsty aspect. Remember how about Fresh always be challenging certain girls with the men and women can't be friends aspect, and she always tell them, okay, call your guy friends up right now and come at them like you want to have sex with them. If you creep them out like you was their sister or grandma that want to smash them, then that's generally your friend. But if he either two reactions, say, hell yeah, let's know time and place and everything, or he might just be like, stop playing, and then just change their mind, like, you know what, yeah, let's do it. Then you especially know that really wasn't your friend and everything, and they know that and stuff, but they know why they're using these guys around them so much.
You know what? Zaddy's own is actually correct. They actually do know that they posted in the comments, they know they're punishing you. You're correct. They know they're punishing you. They just don't care. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you were saying that, you know, they don't realize that there's victims involved. They do. Like the chick, she realized that you are the victim. She just didn't care. Yeah. I did one where the woman was in jail and the guy spent $30,000 on her, you know, And you know, when she got out, he picked her up and he thought he was going to smash. He didn't. And she was texting some other guy while on the show. You know, she didn't care how embarrassed this guy was or anything. She just like, look, I'm going to take advantage of this guy, and you know, call the next.
That dude was a lost cause though, because he had done this before. Like for me, I only got caught up in that situation once, and I'm like, okay, I'm not never letting this happen to me again. You know what I'm saying? Like for you to get caught up with some.
Dude had a hard head and a hard penis. So, you know, he basically just not thinking, because I seen the full thing. I think it was Miracle Tutorials who covered it better with more details than I did. And what I found out was that, yeah, there was a previous chick and he had friends who told him, who warned him, and he didn't listen. So yeah, dude just had a hard head, and that's way too much money for him. You know, I think he made like $15 an hour. So, you know, for him to be spending like that.
You know, it's the same aspect how we telling certain women, this guy's really no good for you. He's going to use you, and nor us also too. And so they'll fall for the guy. And then in some cases, babies come out of that, and they still want to point the fingers as y'all men's fault. But you chose this particular dude who showed he was not responsible with his seed, and you let him, you know, raw dog in you.
Okay, I think Dude's situation was that. I think his situation is that he probably doesn't really have any type of confidence, because for you to be finding a website where you can talk to, you know, shorties who are in prison, to me that's just a new low, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just tripping. But that's just a new low for you to be, you know, there as many shorties as there are out here. You got to go and look for shorties that are locked up.
Not necessarily.
No,
not necessarily. Like, listen, for a person who doesn't have any experience, they're always going to shoot low. This guy probably thought he was a genius the way he was doing something. Yeah, I mean, like, wow, what's going on in the background?
Melody, is that you?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go for it, MLC.
Yeah, but this is where we at. Like, dude, the life of a sexual opportunist is an embarrassing one. It always is going to be an embarrassing one. The time that you waste, the time that you spend trying to up yourself on her, you know what I'm saying, Mortal Kombat all the way to like the Shang Tsung at the top of the thing. The more you do that, dude, there ain't no rewards for that. And the only thing it's going to do is just going to make you settle for less and less things faster and faster. But that's what it does. And it's like, you can't think that you're going to game this. First of all, this person has inundated with choice. Doesn't matter what they look like. Inundated with choice. So it's like, you can't bring somebody on to tell them about a system they're already abusing. It's almost like, you know, like people go to like, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, Drug Users Anonymous, blah, 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 because they want help. But you can't take a person who's comfortably high into a situation like that. It's just going to turn into a troll session. Because they're okay with where they are. And you're not okay with what they're doing, but they're okay with what they're doing. So now you have two different conversations going on here. The first conversation is, she don't care, or he don't care. And the other thing is, but I still need to get mine from you acting in an appropriate fashion. But unless you take the options away, there's no way to have this happen. And younger dudes are being beat out, by the way, by older dudes who already got their stuff together, no matter what age the woman is.
Well, I'm starting to notice that younger dudes, and this is just anecdotally, but I'm pretty sure it's in other places too. Younger dudes don't really care as much. You know, like they don't even like, they're not even trying.
Well, you have to understand how that is. Like I have, you know, I had a nephew that just graduated high school in June, first beginning of June. And they're all like that. They know what this person does in high school. Like, you know how we knew how, like, in the South anyway, you know, how these middle schoolers were like coming out of the cars and like 20-something-year-old motherfuckers, and they thought because they got like some honey buns and some potato chips that they were winning. Like that's the stuff we seen when we were coming up.
Hey, yo,
This
that's
dude have
funny,
seen.
bro. I know that's not supposed to be funny, but that's funny the way you said it.
Yeah, but that's what it is. They sold for what they thought the highest price was. And now, when you see dudes who've went through the actual black pill experience firsthand, yeah, they found other things to do with their time. The only thing is, there's nobody really pushing them in the direction of getting their stuff together. Because really nobody has their stuff together because most of these people are raised in the same environment where productivity don't matter. Only what the woman's want or her opinion wants that matter. So it's like these dudes are so close. They already have the not caring portion down. It's just that they care about the wrong thing still. That's kind of the balancing act here. It's getting to them before they start ending up in the hands of a relationship consultant that's going to give them some bad information and to just keep trying wrong and ineffective things. But like I said, man, the guy probably thought he was pretty smart by starting his actual career there. Let me start in an environment where I think women are thirstiest. No. They actually play guards for fools, the police for fools, the criminal justice system for fools. You're not going to play those women for fools. Not behind bars, you're not.
I mean,
I would dare to say that's probably the worst one. Yeah.
This person got all the time in the world to literally just plot and manipulate. Like that's
what I'm saying. Plotting and manipulation
Yeah,
is how they stay alive.
Well, that 30,000, would have went a lot further in the Dominican, where and I did.
Oh man,
I
ran a village.
Well,
ran a village.
I did a stream from the whole strip in the Dominican, and it cost $40 for two of them. That's how much they were charging. I don't speak Spanish, but Marco translated. They said $40, and it was two of them. It was a package deal. I showed their picture. So
yeah, they were
and
they were
They were okay. They were okay looking.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so there's a lot. I'm not going to do the math, but there's a lot of $40 and 30,000.
Yes, too many.
Yeah.
I can tell you the exact number, but yeah, it's just a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, he could have added 1,000 times, like 800 times, But since it's two of them, 1,600, opportunities. And
you're an engineer, GC. Put that math to work, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but do I know basic arithmetic off my head? No. It's a difference. Yeah, there's math, and then there's elementary arithmetic that that's trivial and that you shouldn't really do. But or that I don't really want to do yet. Yeah. But my point is that it's a lot, like the booty to money ratio on that deal was
oh no!
Even if the prisoner slept with him, he still would have, that's just one. You could have had 1,600.
The hell?
That's a fact. Yep.
Yeah.
Earning the quick hit.
You got so many you should trademark all those stuff, man.
If that dude was smart, he probably would have did a good orgy, film it, and we make money out of it, and still have money left over for that $30 to reinvest. I mean, damn.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Like I said, this isn't a bodily need issue. It is a cultural problem that your actual masculinity need to be verified this way by doing something like this. It's like if you need an actual chiropractor, you pay to go get the service.
True.
That you need, but for some reason you have to go earn the chiropractor in that kind of circumstance. You got to go catch somebody out of school and try to game them up into giving you a C13 through whatever kind of deal. And it's like, look, when you live in a country that has legalized prostitution, this stuff is a far gone conclusion. A far gone conclusion. The women act way differently if they know your needs can be met quite quickly. And
I mean,
that's the only thing that's going to try.
Nowadays we got sex dolls now, man, and I this is not even funny because I see some guys really considering
sex dolls. What the hell?
I know, but listen, I see some guys really considering sex dolls though. It's hilarious to me, but
Okay.
No, it's nothing wrong with that. I had a guest who did that years ago,
not at all.
and he showed the
Not at
doll.
all.
Yeah. Well, Zen and Yumi. For those of you
Zen.
who are new. Yeah. And this was a guy. He was divorced a couple times. He spent some time in the military. He's a truck driver, and he's like, listen, I think he spent like over $1 million in just divorce costs and all these fees, and he's just
he did. So he definitely said, "Fuck these heifers."
So he was just like, man, forget this, and he got himself a $2,000 doll and a little Asian doll, and he just go to work. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
Me neither. Anything wrong with that? You don't really?
No, I don't.
I don't see anything wrong with it, because the alternative is to spend $1 million for sex that you once had. Like for him, if that's how, I'm not gonna shame a dude, for being disgruntled in this system. I seen something today that made me freaking sick. If I could find it, it was a white dude who burned his uniform, his army uniform, because he got fleeced in the courts over some madness. So people are reacting to this hostile situation, this new government that seems to be hostile towards men, whether it's mating or anything. And if that's his reaction, because basically what he's saying is like, listen, I'm not going to even risk having sex with women anymore, but he has to do something, and this is his form of enhanced masturbation. So that's.
Let me ask you a question though. Wouldn't you feel a little? This is actually a serious question. Wouldn't you feel a little pathetic having to clean out a doll, like just to know that that's your life now?
Well, no, I mean, so a sex doll isn't for me. It's not really for me. If there were extraordinarily advanced, what's that movie called? Not that movie, but that TV show with the robot. It come on HBO. And the robots are like taking over, but they look real.
Westworld.
If it was some Westworld stuff, oh yeah, I'd go crazy. But but with a regular dog, no, it's not my thing.
I'll be dressing them up and talking to them, and it's just weird to me.
Well, I don't know if he talks to him, but he dresses him up.
Yeah.
No, it's weird. Listen, Melody, men masturbate. And what and how they do it is really, I don't care, like, I mean, if a guy is humping a pillow, why not a doll? I mean, like, really, I don't, it's really not my concern,
Think about it though, Melody, like, she's not going to talk back to you. She's not going to talk. And then if she's a robot, if she's robotic, maybe you could even teach her to make you a sandwich. So it's all good now.
Well, the Westworld robots make sense. Like, if it was Westworld, then yeah, I don't see anything wrong with what they was doing in Westworld.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, somebody said in the chat, K497, he says, men playing with dolls is creepy and strange. I do agree with that a little bit. I wouldn't shame anybody for it, but deep down inside, I'd be like, that's creepy and weird.
Well, calling them creepy and weird is shaming.
I just won't hang with them. Stay in that corner, I'll go in this corner. Nah.
Hey, whether it's a sex doll or some Westworld situation, hey, dig this here. That motherfucker can malfunction, get hacked.
Well,
and then it's gonna turn on some iRobot situation.
But I mean, like, women,
no more, motherfucker.
But like regular women, are hacked though. Like, that's why guys find themselves in bad situations there.
Hey, no shit to that.
Yeah, but let me read this. Thanks a lot, Sun is hot raw. Let me put you in the tank. It says, let's be real, fellas. Women will go with you if they find you attractive. Otherwise, they'll use you for what they can get, and if they can get anything from you, they'll forget you and move on. You mean like physically attractive? Because I don't want guys to think that attractive guys don't get got, because they do. You look at Hollywood, it's full of attractive guys that got. Brad Pitt got. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't want you to think that you walk around, you know, if you're a jawline dude with some shield around you, like women won't use you for your time, money, and resources, because they will and they do. And I don't want you to think that if you do get used in that way, oh, I deserve this because I'm not attractive. You know, those are two really common misconceptions, like extraordinarily so. It's just yeah. I hope I answered that. Let me put you in the tank. But go ahead. Who's next?
Did you get my donation?
Oh yeah. So Melly said, "Get the likes up, please." Thanks for the cash app, Melly. Appreciate you. All right. Let me put Sun is Hot in the tank, and then put Melody in again. So I think Mel was next.
No, that was next.
Okay. So the thing about your story, Ruckus, is that it's a warning to guys to come. You see, because the internet exists, games like that can't be as easily played. You know, now that you said your story to the people that's listening, you know, other people are going to, you know, like be a little more skittish. So they can only do their hustles for so long. When before in the 90s or something, they could do this. And by the time, you know, men came with a counter to this, you know, type of fraud, it's, you know, a whole generation would have gotten away with it.
Yep. I agree. I honestly, I think the only thing I actually don't regret it. I actually don't regret that I went through any of that, because I feel like a lot of the, you know, mistakes I made, in a way, they actually make me like adopt let's just say my new identity. It's not really a new identity, but just adopt my new boundaries even stronger, because now I know exactly why. It's not like I just heard something on the internet or something. It's like, no, I actually went through this. So, but I think the one thing I would say, if maybe I regret something, is that I didn't learn those or go through those experiences sooner, because I wish I had, you know, learned them sooner. But other than that, it is what it is. You know, and I think it's kind of necessary almost for a lot of men to go through some of this stuff, because then you get to really understand the true nature. Like, you know, you have a woman literally, you know, on the phone with me, FaceTime, doing all that, you know, flirting with me. And then the moment she hits the ground in Atlanta, and suddenly it's like, it's a whole different ball game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I don't really trust like the whole long distance, you know, oh yeah, I'm going to come see you type thing. Cause yeah, that seemed to be like just like a drain of attention and time and stuff like that. And, you know, you ask for their address and like, oh no, just meet me here, you know? So, you know, you can fly over and just wind up somewhere and say, oh yeah, I changed my mind. Like it's a waste.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's messed up that somebody would do that though. That's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, but what they get in the time is the, you know, semisexual or non-sexual attention.
Yeah.
You know.
So I want to say something here, but like, it's like I got to be careful. Well, I guess I'm using the Uncle Ruckus name here. Some of y'all may already know who I am for real though, but because here's what I want to say, right? And I'm not advocating for this, right? But I think scenarios like that also highlight why it's really tough for me when I hear. Okay, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I hear women talk about like situations where they say this man sexually harassed me or whatever, you know, or raped me, right? Yes, that behavior is bad, but I think, you know, because I'm remembering right now this chick being at my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're at my crib, and I had this in mind that this is what we're gonna do. You were flirting with me. We're on the same page, and then now you just want to lay down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you want to lay down, and I'm sitting here just watching you lay down, and she actually looks good, and I'm just sitting there literally watching this chick lay down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking like, damn, like I'm tight right now. And because I'm not that guy that's gonna go and you know, force you to do something you don't want to do, I have to just sit there and accept that. Well, I actually don't, but that's what I was thinking at that time. You know what I'm saying? That I have to sit there and accept that. And so when I think about scenarios like that, and then I think about, you know, when some women say, yeah, this guy, I feel like there's probably in a lot of cases that we hear, sure, the guy might, like, if you actually take that step and do that, then that's still wrong. But I feel like women probably don't highlight how much they contributed to a guy getting to that point. Right? You know what I'm saying? Where to a guy, yes, there again, I want to make it clear, I'm not advocating for this shit. I'm just saying, in that moment, I'm remembering how I felt like it's literally sitting there. This chick is in my crib. You know what I'm saying? You're in my crib, my doors are locked, everything, and I have to sit there and watch you lay down, you know, while I was flirting with you the entire time before, knowing that you're gonna come here and we're gonna smash. And there's a part of me that almost felt like I should be smashing you right now. Let me just put it like that, right? But again, I'm not going to do that because there's a contract, the social contract, as you call it, that this is not acceptable behavior. And also just my understanding that this is not something, I don't want to force you into something anyway. Mm-hmm. But do you get where I'm coming from here? Like, I'm trying to, thread that line very carefully, but you get where I'm coming from here? Like, I think women don't highlight how they contribute to this a lot of times, where in scenarios like that, where, like, I feel like a lot of scenarios where women talk about, yeah, he did this. It's like, you probably got him to a point where that was even a thought in the first place. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, if I'm wrong, just tell me. But I'm just curious because that's one thing I think about a lot.
I understand why you think that way, but they're still unacceptable. Period. Even on both parts. From my point of view, number one, no woman deserves to be great. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
At all. But also for the guy, you only allow what the woman do to you, and even in that also too, you knew what you wanted. And you didn't be assertive and let her know, so you just sat back. It's like another you got taken advantage of, and you allowed it. And so,
I think that we do need a new social contract. Like they were saying on FreshandFit, and your scenario, probably the best thing would have been to like if you were to go by his guidelines, would have been to have kicked her out. Like, yeah,
because you already know what it was, and she's still sitting there and chilling. Then it's time to go. She call you a jerk. Then I tell her as a compliment. Goodbye. At least she can't say you took advantage of her. You didn't sexual grape her because you gave her a choice. Either we're gonna do this and that, and you knew in advance, or not. You're gonna leave. And you don't
I agree. So I guess what I'm trying to highlight is that I'm trying to highlight and maybe it's not even worth it trying to highlight this, but I'm just trying to highlight that I actually think that sometimes, like, we don't think about the why sometimes this stuff actually happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think that, okay, this happened. And I'm really just pointing out that, I could see a different person in that same scenario saying, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Even and I could understand how they got to that point, whether or not it was right for them to do it. Of course it was wrong for you to do it, right? But I'm saying somebody else in that scenario, I could see somebody else in that scenario saying, man, I'm not going to let you do this to me, and then taking that step. It would still be wrong. I'm making that clear. But I'm just kind of analyzing the why. The why that I feel like a lot of times we don't
understand
really...
that. You know what actually come to mind with that also right now? Amber Rose. You remember how she was all preaching about how it was fun to tease dudes? Everything with a sexual aspect. How feminist she is, being sexual liberated, but she's all right for the tease dudes. And yet, you're teaching our women, if you dress a certain way, you're going to attract certain attention. Which means, like, if you expect guys to respect you a certain way, you need to dress provocatively. Other than that, we're trying to eliminate the at least it's not right, but at least in your part, you can still do your part by looking a certain way, acting a certain way, so you're lessen your chances of actually having that happen to you. I guess that's what you're trying to point out, Marcus. Yeah, like, I can't understand what you're coming from. Yeah, everything. Yeah, it's not right. Yeah, but like I said, just like I tell women, like, okay, you want to dress half naked out on the street, you're gonna get certain attention towards you. It ain't right.
I feel y'all. I'm about to close down. I want to do it at the 2:30. I want to do it at the 2:30 mark, but
did you call my name, bro? I stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, but did you have something that you wanted before?
Man, because I was just want to say, bro, my take on that tip, man. Hey, he went too long with that shit, bro. He should have been and shut that shit down. You know what I mean? He should have made it clear to her, like, he went over too many times, bro, than need be.
Okay.
Because, like, and what she was trying to say was that he was basically using that as a form of punishment, she was saying, But it's like, since it is, so what? And plus, too, and like them other chicks is somewhat co-signing with her and acting all lost. They all seem lost like a motherfucker. Like y'all are so lost in what it means and what these men are saying. They're saying like, you know, how can you be submissive and feminine to a man, to a real man? You know what I mean? And they ain't come with none of that. No talks of that. It was all about them. Total selfishness.
True. Okay, well, with that, I want to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And yeah, this is, oh, by the way, the movie for movie week, Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Feast of All Saints. So hope to see y'all there. Outside of that, this is Game Changer 00100. Game over. Peace.
Peace. Bye, guys.